Mama, we made it. Blah, blah, blah. What it do though? Ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you, we had James Brown serenading us as we just ate grilled chicken, a Mexican feast.
Taking shots of salsa.
It's your boy Nushi. We got my brother Raushi with us. Woo! And an extra special extraterrestrial guest, Mr. David Sabastian with us. What it do with it?
David Sabastian in the building.
What's up?
It's a damn pleasure to have you.
It's
in
an
there.
honor.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm actually, you know, in doing these and kind of like being able to truly, you know, walk with people while in their shoes type of scenario through the journey. There's such a love and affection for form and path and how, you know, said people grew and became in their journey.
Right.
And you are one of those people that, you know, I feel like our paths have always like just dibble dabble cross. But in my eyes, you've always had such an enigmatic personality and character and just kind of just an unwavering value in your being, and it's always shined so bright to me. So I'm completely honored to be able to walk through this journey with you.
Thank
you know,
you.
Whether we walking forward or we moonwalking the whole way, like it's one of those scenarios.
Movement. As long as we moving.
Believe that. So where did it all start? Take me to where you came swinging out the womb.
Where did it all start? Started in L.A. It started in Cedars-Sinai Hospital.
Shout out.
7th floor, 7 a.m., April 7th.
Wow.
Right? And I was out, man. I was kicking. My mom was supposed to name me Jason. So for like a year while she had me, Jason was the name, right? And she was giving birth to me, and she was holding her Bible because my mom's a Christian woman, you know, and she was just like holding on to that Bible, and it dropped and it landed on David and Goliath.
Wow.
So literally as I'm out, she's like, David, you know, so that's how I got to David. Yeah. That's
incredible, dude.
Los Angeles, grew up. We lived in Koreatown off like Mariposa and like Beverly or something. And yeah, man, just had a cool upbringing, skateboarded. I was a loner, you know, like a real loner.
How so?
I didn't really have friends, man. I would stay in the house and I would just draw. I loved comics. I was just like, you know, like really in my head, you know. I don't know why. Was it like I don't know. Sometimes, you know, we are what we inflict on. Like if we're not really nerds, we just kind of perceive ourselves that way.
Absolutely.
So that the world kind of gives us that experience. So I don't know if that's what I was doing, but
interesting.
Looking back, like retrospectively,
absolutely.
But yeah, man, I just didn't really have friends. I was just a fucking weird ass artist kid who just painted.
Was it one of those things where you just didn't like the world of academia also, as well as kind of just like?
I've always kind of been anti-school in the sense that, like, you know what, I can't be politically correct, so I'm just gonna say fucking film. I mean, since elementary, I skipped 3 grades, so I didn't go to first. Really? I didn't go to second. I went into third. I was like a smart, like one of them weird ass smart kids.
So from like kindergarten to third.
Kindergarten to third grade.
Dude,
really?
Imagine you're like 5 years old at the time.
It was a weird journey.
That's crazy.
I feel you. Take us through this.
But the point is I never really liked the shit they were teaching me. Like, I understood you at that time, like, they're teaching you basics because you have to grow. But it's just, I don't like how you can take 50 people or 40 kids, right, and think that you're properly going to educate them or nurture their creative capacity. You know what I mean? By talking to all, like, it's the same, right? It's like trying to teach an elephant to do something, like trying to teach a mouse to do something an elephant can.
I feel you on that.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of why I didn't really do good in school. Like, I failed my art class. Like I tell my friends that like I failed my art class.
Wow. Was it an issue for you being hella young? Like, do you think that also had something to do with just like the aspect of being to yourself?
Yeah. Or being like misunderstood. I had mad like identity issues because my mom's black, my father's Jewish. You know, I was going through shit because like he wouldn't really take responsibility for me as his child because I was half black, and he was like trying to be a rabbi, and it was all. So I was like, just
Really?
yeah.
Wait. This is.
Shout out Raushi.
It's just that's so interesting because like you're his son.
Right. But you know, he had a synagogue right off of like Pico in like Shenandoah. You know that?
Yeah.
Actually, not too far from here.
Yeah.
Rest his soul. He died last year.
Sorry.
In Israel. You know. But honestly, for me, it's all a part of the movie.
Absolutely.
I love it. You know, I love it. I love that God gave me such an interesting backstory. You feel me? Like
For sure.
At this point. But when I was a kid, I didn't really see it that way.
We never do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like until we're able to look back on it.
Right.
What was it about comics and
just escapism. First time I ever seen my father, one of maybe like 6-7 times or something. First thing he grabbed you remember those markers that used to smell like
yes, the scented joints for sure.
scented joints,
Yes.
right? They're like thick and
Yes.
like, they was like they smelled.
Yes.
So he pulled out one of those and drew the Batmobile in like fucking 20 seconds. Like literally 20 seconds. I never like it was just like
Wild.
never gave me an art lesson. Like, and he was a famous painter before he got into Judaism. He was like he had artwork in the White House. He had like he was an esteemed painter getting like bank, you know. So just seeing it as a kid, I don't know if like it was in like bedded in me, but like actually, damn, thinking about it now, like I draw, like if you've seen me draw, like I paint pretty fucking fast.
I was actually thinking about it, like even watching clips of you paint, I'm like, wow, that looks very similar to how you just described that.
Right.
Interesting.
And like that flow.
Hold on. Okay, so we're on this podcast, right? And we say we're gonna get into it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take off my jacket.
Take the
Take
jacket
the
off.
jacket off.
So I'll tell you a weird ass story.
Let's go.
Let's go.
7 and my father. And it's my first acid trip, right? First acid trip. This is gonna fuck you up.
Let's get it.
We're in the 7th minute right now, just to let you know.
I love that.
Just to let you know.
We're on the 7th and
Yeah.
okay, it's that serious.
Absolutely it is.
Matrix movie.
For real.
Okay, so peep this. So it's my first time doing acid, right? And I'm in the car with my 3 homegirls. And this one girl I was like kind of dating at the time. But they were being mad fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And someone told me if you're going to be on an acid trip, you got to be around good energy or
Absolutely.
you're going to be fucked off, you know? So I'm like, yo, stop the car. I got to go. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, I got to go. So I just get out. I was downtown. They leave. And I'm like, now I'm just like, I'm journeying down the street. And I get to LA Cafe. This girl pulls up on a bike. She hops off and she kind of hits me. And I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? She was a delivery girl for LA Cafe. So she gets off her bike and she just starts singing like in her way. But her voice was like incredible. I was like, what? What is it? So I'm like, I tap her on the shoulder and I'm like, I'm like, yo, you kind of hit me, whatever. Like, but your voice is amazing. It's like, what's your name? She's like, my name's Seven. It's like, okay, cool. So I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, it's my first time on acid. I'm just exploring the world right now. Like, you know, whatever. And she's just like, well, I get off in like an hour and you should let me like be your guide. Like, I would love to give you an experience. So I'm like, okay, sounds cool. She goes into work. I go to the, what do you call that? Staples Center. But what do you call the, right next to it?
Convention Center?
Not in the convention, on the other side. The LA Live.
Live,
I went
yeah.
to LA Live, and they had the big Christmas tree, and I remember laying underneath the Christmas tree,
Wow.
on acid, looking up like it was like crazy, right? So an hour later, I kid you not, this is gonna get really, really weird.
I feel you.
So hour and a half, I don't even know. I was just laying down. She comes and comes inside the fucking Christmas tree. Now that's at least half a mile away. I don't know how she knows in the Christmas tree. She's like, let's go. So we go. And since I don't want to get her fired. I can't. You know what? long story short, so peep this. She has all the codes and she has all the, because she does delivery. You know, that's what you got. So she's like, I'm just going to take you around. So like, you ever see The Matrix?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
second Matrix, you know, the little Asian dude with the keys? He was like, she was taking me through shit like Johnny Depp, crazy shit, just places I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, am I really tripping? Like underground, like it was dope. We end up at 777 Hope Street. On the 7th floor, it's the morning. This is really gonna blow. Like this blew. Like when this happened. Okay, let me just keep going. So look, 777 Hope Street. We walking up the stairs. We end on the floor. We go out to the fire escape. I sit down. She's behind me. She's just whispering. She's like, "It's my time to go." Just leaves. So like now I'm like on this fire escape, just sitting down. The sun is going like opening up, and I'm like at the peak of my like whatever I'm on, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. I was like, man, this is so fucking beautiful. I was wearing some Air Maxes. And it was just the most beautiful moment. And I remember I put on my headphones, and the first song that came on was Biggie and Puff Daddy's I'm coming, like and a fucking plane, like in a movie, like a plane like damn near went over the building, like, and I'm so happy that I literally dance every floor down.
Yes.
Every floor down.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that catapulted me dancing is like, because I get up and I'm like feeling it. I look around, and you already know what floor I'm on.
7.
Dude, it gets worse. I go downstairs. I go fucking downstairs, and there's artwork on all the walls. My real last name is Miklotsky. Wow. Miklotsky. So tell me why I see Miklotsky signature on the walls. Shut up. On the walls. The paintings are like of the brain. Like this, like, cause later on when my father had me, his painting style was like shit you could see in the White House, like beautiful, like floral paintings, like it's like very like Rembrandt, traditional, whatever. But this shit was like of the brain, and the mind is a computer, and all this like crazy abstract shit, which I later learned from my uncle who lives in Israel, that before my father got into Judaism, he was on some like radical shit.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It gets better.
I see this. And now I'm just like, what is life? What is this? What is this movie? What is going on? You know, like I was in tears. I walk outside. I kid you not. I get to 7th and Hope, and there's this homeless dude walking across the street, one leg. There's different levels of fucking like he was on his last leg, no pun in fucking intended, bro. On his last leg, and I hugged him. I grabbed him. I was so happy. Like I just wanted to hug him.
Yeah.
Swear to God, on my life, may he strike me dead. I said, "What's your fucking name?" 7.
Stop.
I swear to God.
Stop.
Swear to God. Swear to God. That's why when you said the 57, I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
That number is with me. With me. Crazy, right?
Big time crazy.
Yeah, so 7.
That's freaky, man. But it's amazing though.
From birth.
Yeah.
It's been following you.
Since birth.
Was it always something prominent that you always just like?
Not like during like my childhood.
Okay.
But I would say as of the last maybe like couple years, it's like crazy. Like I'll be going to the studio, it's just everywhere now. And I feel like I know it's the universe. I know it's God probably communicating with me, and like everything is so perfect right now. Like even this setup, even look behind you. Look at that
Pac is
shit.
with us,
looking at me. But it's even crazy. I've been studying him so much. Shout out to my guy Tracy Mills, who was like, "Yo, listen, you gotta dial into Pac. Like we all love Pac. We all know Pac, But like if you really dial into him,
absolutely,
it's like fucking Mandela, Malcolm X, Malcolm, like everyone,
all of them put together. And you listen back to that then, and he's speaking to us now.
Right? You got
in every single way possible.
Right. So he I don't even think I mean, who knows? But for me, he's the ceiling for me. You know, I would like I don't even. It's not even about record sales. It's not about selling art for me anymore. It's not even about selling clothes. It's about changing collective consciousness in a mass way. You know, like really. And when I say change, it's not even about change. It's like, I just feel like there's certain things that I know or I feel that if I could just tell that young brother in the hood who's idolizing some of these dumb some of these people who he's growing up to try to be like.
Yeah.
If I could just talk to him and show him the brick wall that he's creating for himself.
Yeah.
Then that's everything for me. That's everything. So music, art, fashion, all of those things are just tools. They're just utensils that God gave me to be able to illustrate how I feel. You know, so
I want to take it back to your consciousness kind of growing. And, you know, the artsy loner that, you know, is also dealing with, it's so crazy to me, the dichotomy, like Jewish father who at that time was going through a change in and of his own.
Right.
And with that came his own sacrifice, which had to be for him, in his mind, his son. And for like it to just be evident that, you know, even though he may not have been in your life as a present father,
right,
if you will, that there's so much of who he was and how he was in terms of just like craft and being that.
Sometimes people are more effective in their absence.
Wow. That's
Facts.
a powerful statement.
Facts.
Quote me on that one. I'm gonna write that one.
I mean, it's here.
No, that's a great perspective.
Trademark.
Put it on a shirt.
No, but seriously, like
for real
really
though.
Think about that.
For real.
No, it's an interesting perspective because you look at the absence of someone only as a negative thing often, right? How did that negatively impact you? You know, I was lost because I didn't have this person or this part was neglected. But when you hit it from that perspective and turn it into a positive thing, it shifts the whole mind behind it.
Right. I just think that mentality, like getting out your own way. Like I wish I had that perspective when I was 7, because I'd be a trillionaire by now. Because I would have been like, oh, Dad, no, but this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, I'm on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So when you were younger, did it? When you were a kid, did that affect you like that?
I don't want to say it affected me. I wasn't the kid at home crying because like he didn't have his father. I was actually doing like the exact opposite, trying to do more than I should to like maybe even overcompensate for that. But I mean, it doesn't even really affect me to this day because like in the sense that you can't mourn or I can't attach a feeling to him. So it's like you can't really, you feel me? I can't attach a feeling. It's not like I had him for a period, then he left.
It's more of a thought.
It's more of a thought, right? It's more of an idea. And this is going to sound fucked up, but for most of my life, I just wanted to get great enough to like just shit on him. Because like my mom is like such a great woman, you know?
Yeah.
And just what he left her to do, like I was just like, yo, I'm gonna get. But that was the old me thinking. Completely different thought pattern now. Like I wanted to do that, but then I had to realize that it's all karma. It's all cyclical. It's all that. Like God didn't put me in this position to do this to stun on nobody. That's like that's not even the point. If anything, I would have tried to help him or try to understand him. Like he died in a very like talk about karma. He died blind. Couldn't fucking like. He was in the worst shape ever, and alone.
I kind of want to go into
this shit gets deep, man.
Absolutely.
It's already like my favorite interview like thus far.
I love it. I love it, and thank you for going there with us.
Why not?
Because we about to keep ascending, bro.
I ain't got shit to lose.
You're damn right.
There we go.
You damn right.
I want to get into just because thinking about the absence of your father. 2 points. One, I'm just gonna bring up like, yeah, it wasn't a thought, but the fact that you had this like, I'm gonna shit on him kind of mentality just as a youth,
right?
Which is very like, just that's a common thing. You just, but how did that shape the relationship you had with your mom?
My mom is a strong Black woman, right? So I grew up in the church. I grew up with principles. She beat my ass. She taught me things, you know. So I think she never wanted to let his absence, like really, for me to really feel that. So she always over loved me, you know. She over loved me. And I know some of you guys out there thinking like over love. You can love someone a lot,
absolutely.
You know? And I appreciate it to death. I love you, Mom. If you're listening to this, I love you to death. But
was it a coddle love?
What's that coddle?
Just like overly, just
like kind of baby. You know,
it's okay, like my little baby, my little prince. Or was it more of like, look, I'm not going to let you feel this way. I'm going to let you know that even in absence, you're full.
Really what she did is put a fucking paintbrush in my hand. Really. She put a paintbrush in my hand. She took me to karate, gave me what you know what I mean? Because like where I'm from, especially at that part, I went to like Belmont. I went to like a lot of, they didn't have any art programs. They didn't have any of that shit. Especially not someone to nurture like what I was on, you know. Yeah. Actually, I take this back. I went to Pio Pico, and the person single-handedly, Miss Chopper. I don't know. Sometimes Miss Chopper. Sometimes I wonder if she knows what the fuck I'm doing now because Miss Chopper. She was my third grade, like the first time in like a real school, and she told me like she gave me a book on Picasso. She gave me a book on Goya, on Michelangelo, and they would have all these like nude, you know, figurative drawings and stuff like that. So I would come back to school and I'd be drawing just like naked girls all the time. Like I would just be drawing naked, like just naked bodies, and I end up getting suspended.
Wow.
They would take my art. They would like, it was so fucked up. So even in third grade, I felt like I was getting censored, man.
I feel you.
I was like, damn it. She gonna give me this beautiful ass book and I'm trying to replicate this and y'all gonna suspend me?
That's crazy. Because you're also doing it just like literally just as a beautiful like figure of body.
Right.
So there's nothing sexual there for you, especially as a third grader.
Third grader, no.
Like for real. Yeah.
No, it was just pure off of just.
We have a deviant that's being.
Yeah, there was nothing
wild though.
Yeah, not even saying it's just nothing inappropriate about that.
Listen, I spent most of my elementary in a corner, like
on timeout.
Go to the corner.
Really?
Go to the corner. Oh, put your hand out. Go to the principal's office. I would just sit in the principal's office. I went to so many schools. Like
it's a trip to me to think of just this concept in that you jumped grades. So especially in this world of academia where, you know, as you said earlier, you can't, it's really hard to think that the same type of speaking or teaching to a group of even 30 kids is going to affect them all the same way. No. But there's also a self-fulfilling prophecy that's at hand in our world of academia, like the kids that test higher and the kids that show a little more promise.
But even that's fucked up because
but exactly. And the craziest shit for me is that they knew you had a gift. Like at the end of the day, a mind that works in that way. Like for me, it's crazy. The teachers wanted to bump me up a grade because they were like, he's bored, and he's causing trouble. We could either put him on Ritalin.
Which they put me on. We'll talk about that.
Or we skip him a grade. And my parents literally were like, okay, for the first portion, the latter, no, you're not going to put him on shit.
Right.
And if you do, I will sue the shit out of the school. And secondly, you're not moving him a grade. He already has his friends. It's crazy that they had the wherewithal as parents to do that. But like,
I love that.
It's wild in the conundrum of like academia in that it's just like, how do we put a patch on what we feel is a problem?
It's like if you're not in the box, then you're fucking way out in the problem.
Bro, listen. Ritalin, I was literally like the nurse called my mom. My mom has these famous stories that she wants to tell all of her friends and all of my fucking friends. Like I was a fucking robot. I was like, my name. Like I was literally a robot. They thought something was fucking wrong with me. And It's super fucked up to think that anyone who wants to draw outside the lines, because that's really what I would do. That's why I would fail my art class. I want you to draw inside this thing, and I'd just be drawing all outside that shit. Because who the fuck are you to tell me what this line, like what?
Absolutely.
That's why I don't get the concept of art school. Like, you can teach art theory, you can teach art history, you can teach all that, but to teach someone how to fucking, because how can I say this? I've always found beauty in abstraction, right? Because, not to say it's easy, but coming from an artist, I'm an artist. Like, I can draw something exactly how it is.
Absolutely.
It takes talent, it takes skill, but I can do it. You can do it if you train yourself. Anyone can draw something exactly how it is if they train themselves and they're not afraid to do it.
And repeat it.
There's so many ways you can do it. But no one can replicate abstraction.
Yeah.
Fucking fact.
You know what I mean? You can't replicate Picasso. So I've just always had an abstract mind, and I guess whatever.
You saying that just makes me think like abstraction is literally the only form of originality that exists.
I would exactly like when you said you can't,
I was like, wait,
you can't replicate Picasso because it's like, oh, that's basically you just copying Picasso because it's so original. It's so original and unique. It's one of a kind. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's a fucking bar.
And that's why people like, when people like, I've have people steal like some of my ideas or do, and people be like, I saw your work, or I saw the reason why it resonates with them because you can't replicate me, and if you do, it's me. That's why I be drawing fast. Like, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's just coming. It's an extension.
Absolutely.
You know? And for all the artists out there, I want to say something to all the artists who are listening.
Speak to them.
If you do listen. That the only thing holding you back from being Michelangelo or Picasso or Basquiat or whatever is your own fear of not being good enough as an artist, of not wanting to make mistakes, of holding an eraser in your hands. I've never held an eraser in my life. Fucking eraser.
Yeah. For real. Yeah.
I need to put that in a bar, right?
For real. All right, we got to give Roushi a moment of silence real quick. Hold on. Fucking eraser.
God, just how liberating that statement is.
For real, though.
How liberating that is. I mean, look, I get if you're trying to go for something, right?
Right.
You know, if you're trying to master a technique or you're trying to go for something, I get it. But the second you say that, it's like, yeah, it's art, blank canvas. You can literally do whatever you want, and none of it's wrong. It just is.
None of it's wrong. There's no wrong move.
It's crazy because it's hard to view these things as masterpieces in the moment when we attach such a weight and a value to the thought of this invisible what if.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that what if is always going to change.
But even that what if is a masterpiece. If I, right there in your living room, gave you a 10-foot by 10-foot canvas and in white, it just said what if. It's a masterpiece.
That's a fucking masterpiece.
That's another fucking thing about art, is it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
You're right.
I've sold artwork on a tissue paper. I've sold shit that because it doesn't matter. In the sense that it's like,
did it matter to you as a kid? And from the standpoint of not even speaking on matter, right? But I'm actually curious as to your attachment with expression in and of itself at such a young age, right? It was like you were defiant, but at the same time you had a rhyme to your own reason. Right. And you were damn inquisitive about it to be able to continue doing so and playing within that mold and not letting it break you. I mean, naturally it may or may not have, but just the thought of the anti-establishment, if you will, that thought early when it came to art. Right. Because 100%. To be able to express oneself is such a vulnerable task, right? And you know, some people bend the rules or don't follow the rules for the sake of rebelling, right. And it seems like in your path, it was far more inquisitive in terms of why am I not allowed to do this, or why is this wrong? And
Right.
which ultimately got to fuck you guys. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Right.
Did you start to realize that attachment with art and expression from a really early age, like from that time period?
Yeah, for sure. I was like doing my own comic books. I did this comic book called Boom Man, and he was fighting conventionality. Like he was
Shut
like,
the fuck out!
I swear, he was like, he was fucking Boom Man. I may
Boom
bring that
Man.
dude, bring him back, but yeah. And people who really like, there's not too many people who I know from third grade, but I ran into one actually at Whole Foods. My guy, and he's like, my brother remembers Boom Man. It was a flex, like. But like everybody in the school was geek because I would just be drawn.
What Boom Man look like?
He was black. He was a brother, man, but he was like, man, I may draw him. I may draw him for y'all, but
Okay.
yeah, man, Boom Man. Yeah, but I think it was just more or less like, I don't know what was inside of me that didn't want to feel like I was in a cage, in a box. I didn't want to feel. I just wanted to be free. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all I really wanted. And my environment wouldn't allow me to be free.
Take us through that a little bit.
I mean, my environment, there's certain parts around where I grew up at. People were getting stabbed. People were getting killed. My family lived in, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a certain discomfort that you grow up with when you just live in an impoverished situation, you know, like growing up, I was in a small fucking apartment, you know, like I'll never forget one time, like, you know, how when you're a kid, you're so sensitive, so you don't really look at certain things as bad. So like if you see a roach or you see a you don't really look at it like, oh shit, we broke. You're just like, oh, there's a fucking,
because you don't attach that much more to it.
You don't attach that much to it or attach the idea to it. So I was just more, yeah, man, like, you won't let me grow. So when I go to this place called school, I want to grow. I want to flourish. I want to take all these ideas that I have and I want to build things. Why aren't you teaching me how to build things? Why are you? I don't believe that. Oh, this Columbus did what? What is this true? Like as a kid, I was wondering, like,
wow,
I don't know if this shit is real.
Wow, you were like challenging.
I was. That's why I would get in trouble for challenging.
Absolutely.
Because if you're you're the teacher and you're telling me this is true, they want you to do one thing, which is pretty much say, okay, oh yeah, all right.
I'm supposed to believe
I'm
you.
supposed to believe you?
Yeah. Accept it.
Tell me why, you know? And as I've gotten older, I've realized that damn near everything I grew up learning was bullshit. For like, damn, y'all motherfuckers was really feeding me bullshit.
Very
For
watered
real.
down.
Like, let's just structure it all for you.
Right.
On a timeline.
Yeah.
Right.
When we think it's okay for you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just keep on saying yes, be good at your tests.
And you know the fucked up thing about it is it wasn't even really the teacher's fault because they believed it.
I feel you.
Thinking about it,
Yeah.
they really believed that the shit, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
and if they didn't, then that's super malicious to be like, hey, we're gonna, you know what I mean?
It's crazy to think about it because, like, you know, there's some students that are run of the mill, like they could be absent and you'd never know.
Right.
And then there's others that like are vocal just because they're lashing out due to insecurities. You could tell. It's just like it takes a different form.
Right.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? Like in this whole process.
That turned me into a hustler though. Like by 5th grade, I was getting expelled for like hustling Pokemon cards and shit. Like I was like, that's how I started painting. I'll be painting people's. I was like 5th, 6th grade, like little hustler. They
Really?
How
Miss Doty, you have to come down to the principal's office. He has a backpack full of money and Pokemon cards. For real.
Wait. How did you shift to the hustler though? Like what was the catalyst for that shift?
And Doug, we talking about 3rd to the 5th grade here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't even. Maybe,
I want to talk about this hot Cheeto glow up one time. You know what I'm saying? Like straight the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, I loved Pokemon. I loved Pokemon cards.
And Pokemon like blew up.
Yeah, it blew up at that time. So like it was the shit. It had all the holographics, Charizards, and all that shit. And I don't know, man. I think I wasn't even really doing it for the money. I think I was kind of just doing it because I was bored.
Yeah.
Like fuck, if I can't do this, might as well make some money. You know?
Did the feeling of that want kind of like did that? I don't want to say bite you, but like did that like did what you got received from, you know, people like buying the shit, doing this, that, and the other, or just like the art of the hustle? Did it give you a sort of flame?
Could have been that. Could have been a multitude of things. I mean, I don't know. I would say Jay-Z kind of had a little influence on this because the first record my mom ever brought me at this Fox Hills Mall was the Jay-Z Blueprint album. No. Gift in the Curse. And around that time, I was like, man, this shit is tight. You know, like, I want this shit. So, yeah, I remember that was kind of feeding into it. So, it was just a bunch of things, man. School just became one long adventure because eventually I started getting kicked out for dumb shit. Then at that point when I would just go to another school and just get passed off and the curriculum was the same and all that, it would just start becoming fun. Like I went to Gardena High School and by no way am I glamorizing any of this. Whoever's listening, like it's not cool to like not give a fuck, but like I'm just a very adventurous soul.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And I feel like it gives it more more connotation in when you're diving through what that meant to you at that time. Right. It's not like, yo, you know, fuck school, we out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
because everybody's different.
Yeah,
everybody.
And you think of like kids getting kicked out of school as bad kids,
right?
But not once as you're explaining your story have I associated you with bad.
Bad,
with
right?
Bad, or like, no, you're not fighting. You're not like, you know, doing just like bad.
Not just doing fucked up shit. And the kids who are fighting though, that doesn't make them bad because a lot of the time they're a product of their environment. They're you know what I mean? It's so many different differentials. But my goal, like my life goal, like is I'm gonna start. It's gonna be boutique at first, but then I'm gonna grow it. Like I want to start a school for unconventional thought, and I want there to be no age group, and I want everyone to kind of pick their own destiny. And people have to teach it. Like I have all these ideas on it. I don't even want to delve into that, but like I definitely want to do it because the educational system has to be changed.
Absolutely, I agree.
Right now, it's at an all-time low.
Bro, even college level,
school. The idea of school,
the world of academia in general.
The way they see the thing is in the 50s. The way school is set up, right? If you look at the tables, if you look at the setup, right? It's to set you up to be on that chopping block, to turn you into a worker, to turn you really raise your hand, follow the leader, right?
Absolutely.
So in a way, that's beneficial for some people, but I don't think the purpose for school really is to help people find freedom within themselves.
I feel like it's more for them to understand what structure is.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%, man. So that's school.
Well, so where were you finding yourselves in like the developmental years of like 7th, 8th grade, like high school? Like what was?
You know, I was kind of a nerd, to be honest with you. I thought I was a nerd.
Yeah,
you know,
which is so hilarious because you're being kicked out of all these schools. It's
bro, the fucking renegade nerd over here, bro.
Here we go. Oh, here's
fucking
David.
Boom Man, Mighty Mouse,
David,
just straight thugging through like different school systems, different areas.
But you know, hold on. But you know what's funny is every time I would show up to a new fucking school, I would just like. I just remember feeling so like isolated because you got to think about it. Once you start to develop any type of attachment with anybody, then I was getting kicked out. So then it would be somebody new and then, you know, whatever. So I was like, that was kind of a cool thing. I remember that being a cool thing for me, learning to navigate through different relationships and you know, but most of the time I'd be like,
did you hit that numb moment where you were like, well, I'm not going to see you in a couple of months, most likely, so like I can give up?
No, I never, because I always thought that school was going to be the school. I never knew I was going to get kicked out.
I could dig it.
I was like,
he wasn't doing bad shit. He was like, it happened again. Fuck. It happened again. He walks in, gets escorted out. Well, this was quick.
Well, no, that's what I was actually curious about, though. You know, and we've had dozens of stories like where, you know, people have changed schools, whether it's a military family or whether it's a situation like getting kicked out. But the influence of friends, you know, as a kid is so important, right? And it comes in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. And did you establish those real relationships?
No.
No, you didn't.
I didn't really. Growing up as a kid, I really didn't have many friends.
Did you find?
I think that's probably why. I created the Friends Festival because, like, as a kid, I didn't really have many friends.
Now, did you have those that you look up to, like whether it be musicians,
Yes.
whether it be artists? Because I feel like
Michael Jackson,
for that-
Michael Jordan. My mom will play Thriller vinyl every day, all day. Michael Jordan, I wasn't tall, couldn't play basketball, wanted to play basketball, so I would just vicariously live through that motherfucking.
and you were flying.
I was flying for real.
Yes.
I love Michael Jordan.
Were you a fashionable cat?
I didn't start getting fashionable till whatever. I don't know when. Remember Fabulous went through that whole like throwback jersey stage?
Yeah.
I would do this like very unique thing.
Is that the holla back youngin?
I was going to like Fairfax. I would go to Fairfax. I was going to Fairfax at the time, and I would wear two different. So, like, let's say it was the baby blue and gold vintage Lakers jersey. You know, I would get like a gold and baby blue shirt and like cut the sleeve down the middle so it would look like I would have to. Like that was the
This
early.
motherfucker just have the audacity to be like, you know, I don't think I was fashionable, but like I got this jersey, got that one, made a cut through this motherfucker, and just had to like put them together on some shit.
I didn't think of that as.
I was over there going through Marshalls buying platinum FUBUs, the vocals, the Outcast shit.
Oh man, I had some platinum FUBU, bro.
Fat Albert's
I had a
was a
platinum
shit.
FUBU chain that this fucking drug dealer at the Slauson swap meet gave me. I was
Wild.
a kid, and I thought I was the man with that shit.
I feel like expression played a really big role in your youth.
100%.
And do you think that, I want to say just kind of like, just leading into that kind of, you know, young man entering this world type of deal, do you feel like the fight for expression really gave you that fire and like built, I guess, the foundation for what you ultimately, did you know that your pursuit was going to be in the creative?
No.
Early on, was it like an aspiration? Or,
Yes,
or better yet, what were your young
Aspirations?
ambitions? Yeah. Just like the
Growing up, like kindergarten, elementary, I always thought I was going to be a cardiologist.
I feel you.
I was gonna be a
Wow.
heart surgeon. I know that's weird.
It-
I thought I
it's-
was gonna be a fucking heart surgeon.
It's unique to say the least.
Because I was always fascinated with just the heart. But then
What fascinated you about the heart?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. I think it was just the difference between the brain and the heart and what I want to, like, you know, I don't know. It was just, I just love the heart. So, but then I would express myself in all these artistic things, but I didn't really know that I could be this. Like, I never, like, I would love, all the shit that I'm doing now,
Yeah.
I would love to say that I wanted to do it as a kid, but I didn't even know these things were even possible.
I feel you.
You know, like, I was drawing Boom Man and shit, and like, just, I was a huge Spawn comic collector. I don't know if you guys into Spawn.
For sure.
Super nerd, man. None of the girls fuck with me. I was the shortest kid ever. Big ass glasses. Fucking, I was just.
You said back then, hoes didn't want me.
Right?
Like the nerdiest kid getting kicked out of schools. It's just
Yo, I feel you.
And that's
who's
why,
also like
that's why they didn't kick me out the system, because I was a fucking.
but he's like also fashionable, but like he's still rocking the nerd.
That's a fucking fact. He stayed in the system.
System.
They're like, something has to be fucked up here.
For real.
we can't lose faith in him. I don't know what the fuck's going on. He hasn't done any crazy outlandish.
Because you gotta think about
shit.
the average kid. Like, if he gets kicked out like 3 schools, they're kicking him out the LA, like the school system.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but like, I went to Fairfax, Pali, Gardena, went to Belmont, went to like.
How did that affect your relationship with moms at that time?
With what?
With your moms at that time?
Oh man,
That had to have been
only
fucking hell.
time I really regret, because my mom was in every principal office. Sometimes crying like, man, like, please don't kick my son. Like, she was pleading, like, just don't kick him out. Please. And like, they would just look at her like, no, he has to go. And I really wish I would have found that one principal. Like, you know how when you watch the movie, you see the one principal who's
Coach
like,
Carter comes
Coach
through
Carter
and he's
comes
like,
through and he's like,
saves the day.
saves the day, makes
Son-
me run some
son-
laps or some shit, wax on, wax off. I wish I would have found that motherfucker, but like, no one just, I don't know, they didn't care.
With being the constant outlier and the constant, you know what I'm saying, outsider, knowingly, right? coming up on the end of high school.
Yeah.
There's that like, for many, there's that like, all right, I'm gonna go to college. I want to fucking, go to law school. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What was going through your head at that time? Was it a continuation of academia, or was it
never?
I'm about to hit the free world?
So this takes us into the next chapter because I didn't tell you guys this, but I dropped out. I ended up dropping out at 16.
Okay.
Oh, wow,
You
completely.
like that? Chapters turn.
Yeah.
I'm just flipping a couple
Like, you
pages
can't
back.
kick me out. I'm dropping out.
Yeah.
I dropped out
At 16.
at 16.
Gotcha.
Well, I was like 17, but like 16, 17.
What was that moment?
I'm gonna tell you the moment. My friend, his name was Kai. He was like, "You should be a designer." Why? Because I said around that time I was doing like kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, you weren't fashionable, but you were like thugging with the jerseys.
Like
and
nobody
flipping
would give
this
me
and
love.
flipping
Like nobody but like my friend, you'd be like, "Yo, this is dope." You
Got
know.
you.
So I was like, "Well, what do you have to do to be a designer?" He's like, "You got to go to the magic show in Vegas." You remember? You've been to the magic show.
Yes.
Magic show in Vegas. And that's how you be. All the brands are there. All the brands are there. All you got to do is go. I had no money.
What year was this, Ron?
I know things by time. So, I mean, well, I don't really know things by year.
Okay.
I'm really weird like that. I
Shit.
don't know time.
Shit.
But I remember Jay-Z
story.
was there. He was Jay-Z was at
Got
the
it.
magic show. So whatever year that was, it was fucking cracking.
Got it. That's
Point-
some early shit too.
It was early. It was
Yeah.
like early magic.
Yeah.
Right. So, long story short, I draw up a portfolio. I go home and I get like, a binder and I just start drawing. Just menswear, women's wear, just whatever I thought was cool. And I was just like, I had a point to either go to, like now they were trying to send me to the school and back of the school. You know what those schools are? Those are like the
alternative.
Yeah, like the
shit.
continuation.
On the last leg.
The
Right. I was on the
continuation
last leg and I was
Yeah.
just like, do I want to do this shit?
Yeah.
So I hit Melrose. This is like word to God, yo. I hit Melrose with this portfolio, and I'll never forget it. Christian Adigir, rest in peace.
Wow.
He pulled up in this red Ferrari, and this is right when they were building. It was Ed Hardy. Ed Hardy was on the corner.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I like walked up to him, and I was like, "Hey, look at my art. Look at my art." And he was kind of like being like, asshole. He was like, nah, like, no. So I was like, fuck it, whatever. Went back the next day. He was in the store because it was before the actual store got built.
Yeah.
Went back the next day, look at my art. Busy kid, busy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Went back the next fucking day. Mm-hmm. Let me see. It's nice. It's nice. Come back, couple weeks, bring some t-shirt design. Bring some designs. So I went back home. I started drawing hats and all that, and with the aesthetic that I kind of seen at the time that they were kind of using.
Got it.
And nothing ever happened with that, right?
Yeah.
So like later on, we end up crossing paths, and he always would see me and give me that fucking famous wink he had. He was like,
Yeah, that like we know.
yeah.
The fourth meeting.
Yeah. But listen, like we were talking about before this interview started, with every tragedy comes like a blessing, right?
Damn right.
So it didn't happen with him, but then I went next door to Teenage Millionaire that was there. Hey, I can say this is kind of fucked up, but like I was like, hey, I just did some stuff with Chris. Like I literally just
Absolutely, the hustler.
Hey, I just did some shit with Christian.
There it is.
They didn't need to know that did some shit was open your notebook.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You know
all they
what I'm
need to
saying?
know.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I just did some
I just
shit.
did some-
He was really fucking with it. You know what I mean? All facts.
All
facts.
All facts. All facts.
I love that, man. Yo.
So they was like, "Yo, we could give you $250 to $500 for a design. Bring us some designs."
I
There it
love
is.
it.
I did some ill ass designs for them, bro. They brought all my design. I thought I was rich as fuck, and I said, "Fuck school."
Wow.
First cash out, I think they brought like 11 designs. I was
You
like,
looking like 5-6 racks?
yeah, I was good.
Yeah.
So,
Especially for a 16-year-old.
yeah.
Yeah.
But before the Christian moment, there was like a big moment that had happened. So the magic show.
Yeah.
I had no money at the time.
Okay.
Got to get to the magic show. It's happened in a week from when my friend told me. I think that's probably why he was telling me. His father, long story short, I went across the street.
bro. Keep a long story long, bro.
Long story short.
Come on. Talk to a motherfucker right now.
So I need to get some money. So I went across the street to the 99-cent store from my crib. And I stole like, had to be like $300 worth of fucking candy, man. And I went in front of Food for Less, and I pushed that candy for like 2 days, bro.
Stop.
Wow. Got enough money.
On Thug.
Wow.
16.
Wow.
Bus ride to Vegas. Didn't know where I was staying, man. First night, I slept under a crap table in a fucking side room of the Bellagio, bro.
Stop.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking dedicated. Like,
Snuck into the magic show. Had no way to get in that motherfucker. Snuck in.
that's fucking incredible.
Booth to booth.
Booth to booth.
Yeah, man. So,
What gave you that I don't give a fuck how I'm going to get here?
I think movies.
Really?
He's like, really?
How movies? Yeah.
Because, man, like, I always grew up with this, like, romantic sense of, like, life. You know what I mean? Like, this, that anything could happen, and why not? And why, you know what I mean? So
Serendipity exists.
serendipity and all that shit. So I'm
Yeah.
like, if this is where I need to go, then I need to get there. Oh, shit, I ain't got no money. I don't got, okay, let me fit, like, okay, this is, I'm a young kid. I'm not about, you know what I mean? Like,
If I put my mind to it,
exactly.
it'll appear.
yeah, and it just fuck
Yeah.
all that shit. And that's my philosophy now.
Shout out
Like,
to Kevin Costner. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man.
Angels in the outfield for all you young bucks.
Well, I love that movie. Man, wasn't Danny Glover in that movie?
Yeah.
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 Wait, so you peddle candy
Yeah.
to scrap up to just roll out there. I want to take it to that moment of what the fuck was going through your head on that ride there. Like, we all know you had the hustle in you
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Right.
Now you en route.
Right.
That, like, there's no going back. You already knew there wasn't going back, but what was that, like, idle, 6-8 hours?
It was just like, I'm going to find someone that's going to change my life. I'm going to find a situation. Somebody's going to see this, blah, blah, blah. And although nothing at that moment, I ran into this Asian dude, this Korean guy. His name was Jay Shin. Love you, Jay. My guy. And he had a booth. Had like a whack-ass clothing brand. Stupid whack.
Yeah, he still loves you, Jay.
Yeah, I still love you.
Y'all knew what it was.
Yeah. It was whack as shit. But he seen my art and he was like, hey, this is really, really cool. So eventually after that, like some time went by and I was in LA, I was going through cards, I ended up hitting him. And he ended up, first he brought designs for me. So I was selling them designs. And then he eventually became an investor in a brand I started when I was like 17, 18 called Brilliant Television. This was the logo, like the TV robot.
Fucking
Dope.
lit.
Yeah.
With
so,
the lightning bolt. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Fucking lit.
yeah, so we did Brilliant Television together, BTV.
That's
That's
unreal.
crazy.
Yeah, man.
How long after that was did that happen after Magic?
Maybe a couple months.
Oh, so that was it.
So you're just on a roll design-wise then.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you're
went
literally
from-
getting affirmations that, like, okay, this is okay.
I went from teenage millionaire to another lady who was down the block on Melrose who was selling purses.
And let it be known, Melrose was popping at this time.
Melrose was the shit.
Yeah.
Melrose was fucking
Nice.
vibrant. Melrose was
Absolutely.
lively.
Yeah,
the
man.
culture was fucking literally prominent and brewing on like osmosis level.
So I was
Floating
literally
music.
walking down the block with this dilapidated fucking notebook, walking door to door, like, hey, I just did this, and it was just, I
Yo,
was just
you
fuck-
this motherfucker out of the meeting. He's like, look, I just spoke with XYZ, got done with doing some crazy shit over there, aka opening my book to the lead designer, and I think we should work.
I think we should work, man.
Yo.
But then before you know it, I run into Steve Aoki, and now Steve Aoki, now I'm doing the logo for his brand. Now I'm doing album covers and shit for him, and now it's real because I really am creating a trail of fucking work.
And it's all coming from just that initial hustle.
The initial
just
hustle.
like, yo, peep the notebook.
Peep the
like,
notebook.
Simple as that.
Create it. It can be shitty, right? It can be shitty. I could say right now, I want to design furniture. I'm going to change the furniture game. First thing I'm going to do is sketch it. Second thing I'm going to do is digitize it. And if people don't know how to digitize it, find someone who digitizes, or just learn how to digitize it. Then I have a digital copy. Then the next thing I automatically do, people probably wouldn't do this, but I would skip a million steps. I would literally take that and I would create a brochure and put a price on it. I would materialize it. So now it's real, and a logo and a brand, and now it's fucking real.
It exists.
Then I would Photoshop motherfuckers on that. All before I would even have the manufacturing capability to even make this shit.
Because you just came back from a meeting and it was fucking popping. Like, y'all didn't know this shit was going down?
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. Y'all didn't see this coming? I told y'all about this 2 days ago. Y'all didn't see the marketing plan come into effect?
Right.
That's fucking incredible. It's wild. Did you have this in your mind of know your worth and your value in your product, or did this come along the way? Because I feel like one thing a lot of creatives, and bro, this is so young and this is so early in the journey, right? But like to attach a worth, or to be understanding of my work has value, or to be in this position of like, it's like, yo, look at me, look at me, look at me. Right. But for you, it wasn't look at me, oh my God, I met Christian. Yeah. It was look at me, okay, ooh, like that, ooh, like that reaction. Let me just pop up on over here. Y'all don't know what just happened over there. It was a fucking moment.
Right, no, right. But
for both of us.
It was that, right? But then there was also this thing of around that time, I was sneaking in to everything. I'm talking about like the craziest A-list motherfucker. That's how I actually met my manager now. He used to see me back then, right? He'd be balling, doing his shit, and he would see me like, he tells me like, I used to think you were either like a drug dealer's son or something. Like, I try to rationalize because I would see this kid everywhere and you would just be like fly as fuck, but I couldn't understand how you got in there or what.
Yeah.
Because I was literally doing some James Bond shit, man. I was like sneaking in through the back thing, through the kitchen, through the, like, to get into these situations.
Yeah.
Because I felt I belonged there.
I fucking love
You won't let me in that motherfucker. I'm coming through the back window. If the back window's closed, I'm digging a tunnel under the motherfucker coming. You know what I mean? Like
this is literally the quintessential moment of outcast becoming outlier, becoming the fucking meteors coming right back into earth. I belong here, motherfuckers. What's good?
And yeah, that's actually something I want to touch on. Like, were you aware of that kind of evolution? Like, did you ever have that moment of like, this is where I belong, this is what I'm supposed to do, versus coming from this school environment, this restricted environment for you, where you're like, kind of even at like a giving up moment of like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna get like kicked, like, this isn't working. Now you're out here, you have this incredible entrepreneurial like spirit about you, this creative spirit about you.
Right.
Did you internally just have that like, yo, I'm finding myself, I'm finding the place I'm supposed to be? Like this environment, did that ever, or was it just like organically like, oh shit, I'm over here now. Now I'm going over here.
I just knew that there had to be something better than Koreatown or South Central and I knew that I needed to be, I needed to find, how can I say this? Coming from where I'm from, when I say where I'm from, I'm not talking about like where I grew up at. I'm talking about like my family. I'm talking about the mentality.
Yeah.
You know, no one in my family has really like made it. You know, no one is, you know, really brought in big money, you know. So I always kind of wanted to be that for my family, for my mother, for whatever. So really, I just was like, I got to get it. I just have to. I have to take what I have and I have to make it happen. So that's just kind of always from that age has been the mentality, you know?
Because this is beyond like
I tried a job once.
What was that?
Food for Less. The same Food for Less and I lasted 2 days. On the second day they wanted me to push carts and it was hot as fuck. And I tried pushing them fucking carts for like 20 minutes. I said, man, fuck this. I said, fuck this shit.
I feel you on that. It's like this level of pride shit because my mom, when she came to the States, worked at McDonald's
Right.
for 1 hour.
I believe.
Literally. Like, she literally was telling me the story of walking in. They told her, we need you to clean the bathroom. She walked in the bathroom with the mop, put the mop in the bathroom, and
walked
the fuck out.
I feel her.
There's some things that you just know, like, your spirit is bigger than.
Not bigger. I don't see.
Okay, stop.
It's not even bigger than
bigger
or
than.
better than.
Just that is not meant.
Yeah, it's not appropriate for your experience.
Yes.
Sure.
Very, very good asterisk there. It's on the bottom of the page.
But I mean, what's interesting though is like you going from this creative person who escapes, who colors outside the lines, who's kind of a loner, to this super duper hustler.
Yeah, man. It's funny. I don't even really look. I mean, I don't even really look at myself as a fucking hustler, man. I like that word is cool. You know, a lot of my people I look up to have been hustlers, but I don't even look at it as a hustle.
You know what I kind of like think of it as in thinking about this time is like you're a damn comic book character, bro. Like on some chill shit of like if Bond was a comic book character, you know what I'm saying?
I can see that. You know, and that's probably the reason why is because I've kind of looked at my life, like growing up on movies and comics.
Yeah.
I realized that you really can kind of do whatever you want. On this planet. You can do whatever you want if you believe that. So I always seek the opportunity to go in that direction. You know what I mean? Like I'm always running towards the rabbit hole, so to speak.
Yeah. Did you ever have fear doing that?
No.
Which is a rarity in itself.
It is kind of rare, but I think it was just because I kind of like I got to a point where like, what do I really have to lose? Like I don't have shit to lose. I looked at my life at that point and I was just like, it could get much worse. I'm not gonna say it can't get much worse because there's people out there that ain't got nothing.
Yeah. A
lot of my friends, like I never like I was like traumatized because I would go to some of my best, my friend's house and they would just have like lines of roaches like all over there. Like, like I had to live with, I'm not gonna say the family member, but like I've been like to that level. So like, you know what I mean? There was a point my mom had to leave me for a couple months because she couldn't, like it got hard. But the point is I looked around and I was like, what do I have to lose? Like,
and the craziest shit is you had an outlet to express yourself. Like as inward as you were, like, I guess pushed.
right.
Growing up, you had an escapism in the outlet of expression, which rarely do kids develop like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially early on.
But they all should, and they all can.
Absolutely.
And they all will. Eventually.
And they all will. You damn right. Do you feel like how did you start thinking about, in speaking about, the escapism and in speaking about how movies and comic books really influenced you and also, in developing naturally your ability to create.
Right.
And in seeing the warm reception to your creativity, right? It's rare that people find that, but like you were out there, look like you were gonna get it regardless, right? 100%. And you also went about it in a way of like, you may not know what this is yet, but I'm giving it to you first. Type of attitude. Right. It was so embedded. It wasn't like, okay, like I've been through the throes. It was like, okay, it's all or nothing here.
Right.
How important was your imagination and your willingness to believe that anything was possible at that time?
Ask that last part again. I just want to make sure.
How important do you feel like your imagination was for you at that time? And do you feel like it was something that you cultivated and kind of like looked upon as strength?
At that time, I didn't give my imagination a title. You know what I mean? Right now, I know what an imagination is. At that time, it was just me instinctually creating another reality. I didn't look at it as I'm using my imagination. It was just more
expression.
Like, I guess it was just pure expression, Yeah. But now that I know it is my imagination and I know what my thoughts are and the power of thought, now I'm way more disciplined with it, but I can have fun with it. You know, so
it's matured.
It's mature, but that's what I would do. That would be the main premise of my school, like to teach kids how to really use their imagination, and then throw away self-doubt and take the things that they aspire to be and really materialize that idea for them.
If you think about it, bro, like our school systems are not allowing kids to be curious. Like we're feeding them the rhetoric and the story, and we're also kind of taken aback at challenging said status quo, right? And that's the complete antithesis of like procuring a level of creativity, a level of excitement, a level of exploration. You know what I'm saying?
You see these futuristic, dystopian, post-apocalyptic films, right?
Yeah.
In these modern societies, everyone is like this. Quiet hand, like it's all like book. I don't. Is it The Giver where you could? Have any of you guys seen the movie The Giver?
I think so.
In the movie, you weren't allowed to feel anything.
Oh wow!
You weren't allowed to feel, and you couldn't read things that made you like it's some crazy shit. But the point is like, I think it's gonna get to a point if we don't change, if we don't make radical action, to where everything will be completely censored, and kids will live in this alternate reality, this virtual reality, and like, it's all for control. Why would they want kids to know that they can do anything they want? Because a person who knows they can do anything they want won't fall for the bullshit.
Can never be controlled.
Can't be controlled.
Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah, you're writing your own destiny.
Do you want thousands of kids who feel like you can't stop them? So that's why we just got to spark the thought like that. Pox, I'm not gonna change the world, but I guarantee that I'll spark the brain. Like, it's sparking.
Absolutely.
People waking up. So we just have to not be afraid to take radical, defiant action.
Absolutely.
You know? For
What,
sure.
what was that progression like for you, you know, dropping out, kind of like knowing that you
overnight.
had no fallback, right? And going through these experiences of like running through Melrose.
I don't want to shut you down, but fall back. That's the reason why I got tattoos at such a young age. I got this when I was like 16. I wanted no fall. I wanted no fallback. I wanted to have nothing like so where I couldn't go get a job. So
I love it.
So I started getting tattoos. You know, I wanted to push myself to the point of like, this shit has to work. Has to.
And what was it in your mind? Like, what was the early development of it? Like in those days where you were selling your designs,
Right.
You were starting to like be able to survive,
Right.
Naturally, being somebody that's creative and starting to be, especially in that scene of Melrose at the time where it was like brands popping up and just like, I feel like it was very robust.
Right.
Feel you. What were your wants starting to be like? Like, especially from that standpoint of like, I want to say from the period of like 16 to 20. Like, what was that for you?
I think at that time, once I got tired of designing for other people, I kind of wanted to just build the brand, you know? I went through a whole series of different investors and motherfuckers who wanted to like rape my ideas, motherfuckers stealing my ideas, people, all that shit, you know? This is another thing. I'm not really good with like, there's a lot of things that I kind of just delete out of my mental computer, right? So have you ever met someone who can tell you the year? I mean, I don't know if maybe you guys are, they can tell you the year, the moment that like they know that. Like, I'm really bad with that.
Got it.
The good things stick out, the bad things stick out. But the like, you know what I mean? So it's like, because I'm so set on like right now or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the rest of the shit doesn't matter to me. You know, like heartbreaks, all that shit. It's like I'm so removed from it that like, you know?
Yeah.
So all I could remember at that time was I wanted to create something substantial and I wanted to be revered and appreciated for my work. You know, there were certain situations I got myself into because when you're young and you're talented, people are looking at you at it like, oh, I could kind of get
You're
over
a fucking unicorn, but like you're able to be, they're like, oh, we could bring this to the farm.
Right. So I end up really getting in fucked up deals, like designing headphones for somebody I can't say, and then them selling out and making lots of money, and them coming back to like compensate me with like headphones.
Wow.
Like little stupid shit like that, you know. But it was all a part of the process. I was still like a web mind. I just wanted an opportunity.
Yeah,
For sure.
So, you know,
I mean, and it's those moments that you learn from, and it's those moments that, you know, obviously teach you how to really act when the real moments come.
Right.
You know, that's all building the foundation. For you, was there a moment where like you started to build your brand? Was there like a substantial moment where you felt like, all right, I'm getting these little deals, I'm getting these, you know, these things, these designs, but did that ever really come to fruition? And what was that first thing?
kind of not really at first, but the first thing was my manager at the time had found this like Jewish lawyer like in the fucking valley, you know what I mean? Wasserman, you know.
Of course.
And he was like, you know, I'm in the fashion business, the smart what?
Schmata.
Help him out here, Joe.
I think it's the smart. What does that mean?
Oh, wait. What do you?
Like the fashion business,
Yeah,
like I forgot. Whatever. Point is, he invested in this denim brand, and we were getting shit manufactured in China, and it was whatever. But the name of the brand was called David and Sabastian, and it was like really cool. Like the back belt loops were like David stars, and the embroidering on the pockets were like David stars, and like it was like this gold little plate on it that had the shit. It was like really fucking sick, but the price points were too expensive because it was you know, like Balmain, right? You know, they have the zippers, they have all that. No lie, I was doing that like 6 years ago, but I'm not even trying to like.
Yeah,
it's not even about that.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that I was trying to do all of that then.
Yeah,
timing, right? But the price points, it was like, kid, you're fucking crazy.
You
want 6 zippers on this shit with embroidered this?
You want to sell $500 jeans right now?
They came in these boxes, these wooden velvet lacquered boxes.
Oh, wow, y'all were going exquisite with
exquisite as fuck. Wrapped in. No, listen, I have photos like wrapped in. Like I did this little silk scarf with like my design on it. It was like really, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna probably do it again at some point. But like
the rebirth capsule,
Yeah, I'd probably call it something else. Actually, I am doing it, but that's like a shameless plug. But I'm working, I'm not even going to say the name yet, but I'm working on full men's, women's collection that's fucking next level.
Incredible.
It's going to be fucking fun.
Incredible. Yeah. Well, so you were going through the learning curves.
Right. All that. School.
Yeah. The school of little hard knocks.
Yeah.
Right. What would like... I want to know just that mentality, and I want to know, was your mental tested during those times? Was your mental tested during those times? Was it doubt, fear, spite, and like how did those things?
I went homeless, bro. I was like, there would be times I would like sleep in the bathroom at the Roosevelt Hotel. I was like, because like I was making money at first, but when you're young, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, that I was telling my mom, like, you know what I mean, like. It wasn't. I didn't have it for a very long time.
Money management wasn't the.
Yeah, they weren't teaching that, and they had calculated all this shit. What the fuck is money?
Derivatives, but they didn't have like how to keep your books.
Keep your money, right? So I didn't really know. So I would find myself in these situations where I would just be like fucked off, you know. And anybody else probably would have quit in those situations, you know. Like I'm about to drop an album. The second song on the project is called We Made It, and it talks about a CVS that I used to sleep in. And what I'm going to do with my project is, you know when you go to an art gallery, right? Yeah. You have these like placards underneath that tells what the so I'm making these placards that are location specific to the shit that was happening in the songs. So I'm like putting a placard in the bathroom at that CVS that I used to sleep in, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So yeah, like push me to the limits, you know, when you...
Can you take us through the depth in that? Like, and just like for real, because it's
crazy,
I feel like moments like those are so glossed over, right? Yeah. From just like, and not to say glossed over as if like somebody's trying to take away from that experience, but it's like, those are real fucking moments, right? We hear about those moments existing, but what we rarely hear about is the mentality of one within that state at that time, and what it took to persevere out of that moment. And like I feel like usually it's just like a, you know, I was down and out and I was homeless for 6 months and then boom. Right. But
you're right.
But those 6 months, right? And that like you're either going to quit or you're not is a very, very crucial, especially mentally, time for anybody that ends up making a mark.
So have any of you guys seen the Will Smith movie Pursuit of Happiness? Absolutely. Right. It was very much like that for me, but I'd never seen the movie at the time, so I didn't know what it was.
Gotcha.
But I found myself in the worst positions and using my imagination to lighten the situation. You know what I mean? To like, I was in another world. You know, I was like, yeah, I may not have this. I may be doing this. I may have to, but that bathroom felt like the penthouse. You know what I mean? Like it felt like the penthouse. So I've made money. I've lost money. I've made it again. I'm sure I'm not done making it.
Yeah.
But money has never really mattered to me. And I can really say this on like it's never really held a value in the sense that it's a tool. But I've always...
Is it more of access?
It's more access. And it's more... For me, all money really is for me is a tool to be able to create the things that I need to
It
do.
does provide freedoms for us.
And freedoms, right? But the point is I was never hustling for money.
Got it.
And if I was...
You were hustling for opportunity then.
Opportunity. 100%. Yeah, so...
When did the music start coming into play for you?
Shit.
Was this around?
This goes into a whole other crazy story.
Shit, bro, I'm here to get crazy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, throw me in a tornado, watch me spin.
Am I getting to like? I'm not saying to like, but this is you know actually.
No, we're good. And before like, I just want to like knock this because it's in my mind.
Yeah.
Just like the whole sleeping in the bathroom thing and what you've done, like. When I'm thinking about it, how many people are really down for that, to really go there?
And also to like interject and throw an asterisk where I'm going to swing off and just like jump on the moon type shit. Trust me, it's here or even further deep. Right. So know that like these go there.
Right.
At the end of the day, this is for us. Like, bro, like this is how a motherfucker views this shit. And y'all going to get, whoever's listening is going to get this view of it. This is far beyond me, far beyond Raushi, far beyond you. Yeah. This is for them. Right. Whoever them is. Right. This is for y'all. Right. Yeah, because we're not sitting here at a fucking panel and being like, persevere and work hard and fight through it and believe you can.
Yeah.
This is like we're talking about a moment that you may have just had, know it exists, and see where it's come. Right? So keep fucking pushing.
Yo, bro, let me just tell you something. I never had any other option, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people create a plan B.
Yeah.
Everyone I know has a plan B.
Yeah.
A plan C.
Yeah.
A plan D.
Yeah.
People got plan Fs. I never had a plan B. So I said, I'm going to ride this motherfucker until something happens. I don't care how fucked off I get. I don't care. I will be crawling through the fucking gravel. Like, this shit has to happen. So, listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest.
Be honest.
I could have 1,000 times more money than I have right now if I was willing to sell certain aspects of myself that I'm not willing to sell.
Sure.
This game, this business, the music business, like it's fucking dirty.
Absolutely.
And a lot of motherfuckers want to take advantage. So point is I never took that record I got out called Ballin'. It's pretty much a proclamation to say I could have done deals. First record I ever put out, record called Pussy Marijuana, right? Was out a week. RCA flew me, St. John, down to New York. A deal that probably anybody would have took.
Yeah.
Stupid. But it didn't make sense. And many of those have followed since then. Mm-hmm. It didn't make sense because it for me, it was never like a dollar value. It was how much you really believe in this shit. Mm. Because I like... But I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I never took any of those offers. Now.
Yeah, for sure.
Even then a little bit.
Yeah.
Even then I had the understanding, like I never was like, oh my God, because like, but right now, oh my God, I've never been happy because I've got to see firsthand the collapse of the music industry.
For sure.
These labels out here really have no power. They can't tell you what to like anymore. It's too much. The mechanics are all fucked up. The matrix is, you know what I mean? They could put money behind you.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like the industry is just giving people very expensive glorified loans.
100%.
Yeah, man.
And at that point, I'd rather just take money from someone who isn't in that system, who just kind of believes.
Yeah.
And we could do that. Drake did that. I mean, a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's intricacies to everybody's scenario that like just are unknown.
Right. And eventually, I'm not saying that I would never do a deal with a label, but like Jay-Z said, I'm raping them for what they did to the Cold Crush. Like if you want me, it's gonna have to be something astronomical.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna have to feed 1 million people with the money you give me.
1 billion.
1 billion. I'm gonna make I don't think they could give me that much money, but eventually 1 billion
For sure.
So
Take it there, though.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I think like the power in that though, like, and what I'm still tripping on is we've had people say like, yo, there's no plan B, I only had a plan A. But like, even when I think about it, like, how far are you really, really willing to go?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what like I'm so curious about with you is like you were actually willing to go there. And when you're faced with that question, it sounds so good to say it. It sounds so good to be like, yo, I'm willing to do anything. Like, I'll take it there. I'll sleep on. I'll go home.
Actualizing it, or like,
but when I think about
is way different than how shit sounds.
Like when I play that out in my mind, it's like sleeping on my mom's couch, like in Beverly Hills adjacent. Like that's probably as bad as it would get. You know what I mean? And I'm like, just in normal people's fears, right? Like I think most people, it probably doesn't go.
It makes a great
I don't know if they
but
really.
it's actually a lot different when you're living it.
Yeah, I just don't know if you. I just don't know if you're really willing to go there.
Have you ever lived that experience? Have you ever been homeless on the street for even one night?
No.
Okay. I would tell you, do it. It could be tomorrow. It could be next year. Just do it one night. Dress warm and just not have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
You'll often find that A, it's not as bad as you probably think.
For sure.
But B, it's a liberation to not needing anything, not needing a security blanket, knowing that you're alive. You got your feet, your arm. You could do, you know what I mean? Like, and me, it's
probably more empowering actually than anything.
It's super empowering. But also when I was homeless, like I said, I was sneaking into like the Roosevelt. I was sneaking into the Beverly Hills Hotel. I wasn't like I'm about to go sleep on the fucking bus stop.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, like I probably would have snuck into this fucking building. It just like went up to the rooftop or some shit. I mean, like I would find environments that I want that were still kind of comfortable, but
that's wild. I feel you.
No, but that's, I mean, it's and that's what I'm saying. It's so caught up in the actual fear
that's
of
a
it,
mentality,
right?
bro. That is a mentality.
Yeah, but it's the fear versus the actual reality. Like you're going through it. Most people feared that, right?
It's just programming. Like it's just programming.
Facts.
It's just programming because once people get out of their own way and get out of their own fears, then they'll realize, like, we know this, and whoever is listening by this point knows this. Like, it's very, very simple. Fear is the only thing that, like, have you guys read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill? Any of you guys?
No.
Okay. I've put a couple of my friends on this, and each one of them, they told me, changed their life. So if you're listening to it, you can just rewind it. It's Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill. I suggest you pull it up on YouTube because there's a theatrical audio book of it, right?
Oh, wow.
And pretty much it's a one-on-one conversation. It sounds stupid, with the devil. It's like you interviewing the devil. And he's pretty much talking to the devil and asking him how he really moves, how he uses, like, and the devil's giving all of his tricks away. But pretty much it's all fear. It breaks down to fear.
Absolutely.
You have love, you have fear. And if you think of all the world's problems, everything, it all really breaks down to fear.
Yeah.
So.
And so much of the fear comes from within, bro.
But he talks about how he uses genetics, how he uses circumstances, how he uses, like, he breaks down every inch of how he uses society, everything to instill, like, pretty much everything around us is like fear pumping machines. The news, fear, like all of right.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
why do you think they're manufacturing these motherfucking, like, this shit? You know, because they want people afraid and docile and fucking sheep. Yeah. The second you lose fear, you don't give a fuck about. You don't care about nothing because you know that you're good. You know what I mean?
And that's a level of freedom that, like, rarely exists within us.
It is fucked up because it exists in all of us.
In all of us.
I mean, even thinking as a kid, like, you would never catch me fucking getting kicked out of school because I was way too scared to ever face that. Like, I'm not gonna do something kicked out of school and then ruin the rest of my life to get like to be a good standing citizen. Are you crazy? Like, I'm not getting kicked.
Get a job.
I'm not getting kicked out of second.
Everything that's constructed. For
How am I going to go to college if I get kicked out of first grade?
Right.
Like,
you have people who want to go to college because of their parents and that whole expectation fact. You have people like everyone. A lot of jobs. A lot of people who are waking up tomorrow to go to their jobs are only going to their jobs out of fear. Fear that they won't have money to pay their rent. Fear that so the second you lose that and you're like, you know what? I don't give a fuck if I'm not in the best position. But I know that I will get to the best position because it eventually will come.
I mean, what comes after fear? Freedom.
Bro.
so
Imagine if it was that like basic, you know what I'm saying, just like block.
100%. But also something really amazing happens when you reach that point. A lot of cool shit starts to happen to you. Like you asked me about the music. How'd I get into music?
yeah.
And so I've always loved music. Always.
Yeah.
Rap has always been my number one art form. Music. A lot of people think it's art. Rap. I started rap. I forgot what I was at John Burroughs Middle School. And this is crazy. Karuchi, you know, the famous Karuchi.
Yeah.
She's the prettiest girl in the school. Her and this girl named Autumn. And I know Autumn really well right now. So I love you, Autumn. If you're going to listen to this, you probably will. Point is, they were like the prettiest girls in school. And there was like this circle, rap battle circle, and everybody's rapping and shooting on each other. And
Yeah.
I was like a nerd at that time. So someone like just clowned me and destroyed my life in front of fucking group, like just like blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
you were kind of like, damn, B, you had to go
man,
do
you
that.
went there, bro.
I feel you, but you had to go do that.
So
I'm picturing your big ass glasses,
Yeah.
tracksuit on, looking at a motherfucker like, come on, Billy, I'm over here.
So I went home and I wrote a rap that I thought was going to destroy this motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And I go to school the next day, same lunchtime, you know, whatever shit. And the rap was so bad that it was worse than when he fucking clowned me. I really got fucking destroyed. Wow. Tragic. Fucking tragic.
I thought we were gonna have one of those 8 Mile moments. Where it's like everybody from the 313.
That was it. Third grade.
Came out and said, "Yeah."
And then I knew I was destined. No, it was fucking the other shit around, man. I was like, fuck. Man. But then it became cool to me because I was like, damn, I can like say how I feel and
Yeah.
make it rhyme. And then, you know, the people I grew up, it just became like
And cats moving like this, and it's just the cipher was always one of those things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like even like growing up, like I used to always have my boys egg me like, no skid him, no skid, because I was nice. I'm still nice, bro. I kill a lot of these motherfuckers. I'm just gonna let it be known. But it's crazy because that fear. Right? Like I always loved going second just because for me that like just gave me that little bit of like milk chocolate with the marshmallows, like the fear is gone, like we home now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna annihilate you. Like thank you for letting me know how subpar your ass is. But like it's crazy that like rush of expression that freestyling in our youths gave us.
Right.
Especially coming from me, like I was a Pac kid growing up. Like that's why our love of Pac. I was like, shit, you wanna bring Pac into the convo? Let's go. Yeah. And shout out to Koa Payton for this fucking phenomenal piece of art right here.
Shout out
for real.
to him. It's very awesome.
So you were horrible.
Yeah.
As everybody that is either still horrible or becomes great at is when you start, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Right. That's what starting is.
Yeah, exactly.
And what the fuck are you already scared of?
Exactly. 100%.
What in the flying fuck are you already scared? Who in the fuck are you already trying to network with and trying to like put this facade on? If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, speak of that. Yeah. And find somebody that enjoys enough the fact that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but they see that you got spirit in you.
Yeah.
A lot of motherfuckers don't have talent that come up off top. It's they just had the heart.
Yeah.
Or they just had a sensibility about a motherfucker that was like, oof. That was just a sidebar.
It's really just 10,000 hours, man.
For real.
Yeah.
It's all, you know.
For real.
You could do anything you want if you really commit. And
fact. But like, this is my biggest thing with shit like that, bro. Is all of that sounds so great. A motherfucker listens to Anthony Robbins, he's like, damn, I feel that. A motherfucker listens to fucking Malcolm Gladwell, right. Napoleon Hill, all of these thought leaders, and it's like, yes, it rings true.
Well, did those motherfuckers actually sit down for the next 5 years of their lives and did the same thing over and over? Did they quit their job and say, I'm not going to invest 8 hours a day in this. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do this? Mm-hmm. Most of them didn't.
No.
So, but the ones who did, I guarantee you, are on a route to become.
And even the ones that did, this has been my biggest thing. This has kind of been a theme for me, right? And look, nobody's perfect, right? But there's something about the pursuit of whatever the fuck it is, whether it be happiness, perfection, mastery, and craft, the list goes on, right? It sounds different when it's being pursued. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It sounds different. There's a vulnerability to the fact that something has not been achieved yet. Or there's a fucking kind of like crescendo in when you speak to somebody that you like, God damn, like they found it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So many people are out here speaking to themselves as an audience that they want to fucking like have listened to them. So many people are looking for a fucking validation outside of self that it's like, B, when you go home and you look at yourself, do you believe you? So where the fuck are you really starting at if fucking XYZ is like out there like, oh shit, that sounded dope. Like that shit sounded dope for 30 seconds and you still in the same place that you were. Mm. It's not going to change until a motherfucker looks at himself and is like, I continuously want more. Right. But then there's also a thought of like appreciate where now is. Right. Like only we have the ability to look back 10 years from like look back 10 years forward when we get to 10 years past and look back and smile. Nobody that we really thinking about now is going to be thinking about us. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
Like think about that shit instead of like how fucking like the cat's going to Poppy, you know what I'm saying, or feeling about your shit.
100%. But I mean, for me, that's a no-brainer. I don't give a fuck. You know, I really don't care. But I want to speak to that one fact, being that I started working for. Okay, so I forgot how old I was. I think I was. Pussy Marijuana came out like 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, right? My now manager was managing another artist who was signed to Universal. And at the time, I'm a designer, right? Mm. So he's like, I want you to style design for this kid. His name was Jay Blue. So I was like, cool. So he was giving me money, whatever. So, matter of fact, okay, so this is crazy. So, remember I told you there was a guy who would see me when I was younger and all these.
Yeah.
So, he's driving down the street. I'm with my two Jewish investors. They have like, you know, walking across the street, and he's seeing me at all these parties, all this shit. And now he sees me with, so
he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
So literally, we walk.
You went to a diamond dealer at that point, for sure. He's like, "All right, bro, this motherfucker got the bag, like the rabbis guarding him."
No, we went to like I don't even know if it was Whole Foods. It was like some place in the valley, right?
Yeah.
And I remember hearing a. Motherfucker pulled into the parking lot, hops out. He's 6'5". This motherfucker's huge, like, and starts running toward me. like briskly, like walks up to me. Hey, who the fuck are you? What the fuck do you do? Like, he's like, and then it just happened from there. So at that point, I want you to style, blah, blah, blah. The whole time I was like, man, I rap, I make music. And he's like, man, style,
all right,
style.
yeah, all right,
Right.
yeah. We finally got a beat on you. Right. Like, let me just keep that there before you blossom. Like,
so for like a year, it was literally me designing and styling. He did not entertain music one time. He had a partner named Kingpin, who I was like, man, I rap, and every day I just started sending him like freestyles and shit, and he ended up telling him like, yo, this kid is kind of nice. And
he was your Dame Dash at that moment.
He was my Dame Dash. Like, yo, this kid is kind of nice. And I was like, listen, man, just let me record one song. Because at that time, studios weren't readily available and blah, 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 you know. So I was like, man, let me just get in the studio. So then this happened. I'm on the freeway going to a photo shoot. And I had a final destination moment. Like, I seen like my like impending death like on the fucking freeway. I tell my homegirl, get off the freeway, get off. We're downtown at the Ritz. She leaves. I'm like, I'm not going. I walk into the Ritz-Carlton. I sit down. I have my sketch pad on me. I just start sketching. This African kid came out of nowhere. His name was Gabriel. And like this super thick Sudanese accent. He's like, will you draw me? Some said just draw him. I don't know. He had just like this angelic presence.
Yeah.
He was like, thank you. His name's Gabriel. You know what I mean? It was like crazy.
Yeah.
Walks away. Next thing I know, there's like 6'3", fucking 60-year-old white guy comes out of like the midst with like SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas on. Old Lakers shirt, coffee stains, but like like $1 million like ring on his fucking finger. He finds me, gets on his fucking knees, and he starts like bowing. I cannot make this shit up. Starts bowing. He's like, I fucking found you. What? It gets weirder.
I mean, take it there. I literally love these little rabbit holes that I'm just finessing down with. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I rarely talk about this shit, if ever, so it's like fun for me to even think about this shit.
Love it. Yeah.
One day I may make it into a movie because it was like, it'd be fun, man. But the point is he's like, I found you. Well, who are you? I told him my name was David. He's like, draw something. So I just start drawing. He's like, I have a meeting an hour from now on the whatever floor. I don't even remember. And I want you to come. I want you to come, and we'll see. So he gave me Gabriel's number.
Shout out to these moments, though.
How is this life? How is this life?
Like, let me just I'm just pausing the fuck out of this real quick, right? Because you got bumped by a delivery girl in LA Cafe. Like, you over here seeing your impending death on the freeway, telling your homegirl to move over. Shout out to her wherewithal to make that exit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And then Gabriel coming out with the accent, and then homeboy.
All right, so listen. I go to this fucking meeting. I never forget it. Ritz-Carlton. There was this room, long fucking boardroom room. All these like old fucking white guys, like real estate looking, like older, like, you know what I mean? They're on the table, and he's like in a fucking like he's just radical, big cigar and shit. And he's like, hey kid, I want you to come with me to Arizona. And I don't even know if I can. Long story short, he was building underground, self-sustaining, eco-friendly cities in like Mali and South Sudan. That's why he had Gabriel with him, and like fucking 30 other fucking Sudanese kids that he flew. Crazy shit. I want you to be the brains. I want you to think you have it. How much do I have to put in your account? This is on my life, on like how much do you want for me to show you this is real? Because when he was downstairs, and I was thinking he was like at first kind of crazy, because I'm like,
for sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
SpongeBob, he was kind of fucked off. He was wearing sandals, but his toes were out, but he had like gold nail polish on his nails. So I'm like, which I later found out were real gold, 24 karat gold fucking tone, whatever. So me being at that time, I didn't want to be like too crazy. I didn't want to be like $1 million, right? I don't want to even say 100,000. I said $30,000. I don't even know why. I mean, I could have priced it 100,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that we think about that.
Yeah. Now that we think about that, but I was just like, just to show me, $30,000. Just put it in my account. Okay, I want you to give your number, get all my information. Gabriel is kind of like the conduit to that. I never forget. Next day I wake up. I go take a shit. I never forget it. I was on my phone on my app and I like called. You have 38,000, blah, blah, blah. Wow. I was like, this motherfucker did it.
Because it sounds almost like a scam, right?
Right.
Yeah. It really does. Like,
I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see the real estate looking
the whole thing.
Illuminati motherfuckers in the room. Point is that night I was on a flight to Arizona.
What?
I get picked up. I kid you not. It was actually scary. This is the only time it got scary.
Okay.
Because the people who came to pick me up, it's like 3 Benzes full of fucking Sudanese kids, right? Like rough at like Sudanese motherfuckers. Because like he just. If you guys are listening, like Google like the lost children of Sudan. Mm. But he flew a bunch of them from Sudan to Arizona to help with this mission. So they take me to this crib, and this motherfucker brought like the whole cul-de-sac. Like it was like 3 houses, you know. And I was out there for about 4 or 5 months.
Wow. What the fuck was it? Like, okay, hold the fuck up.
But hold on,
Keep going. No, go ahead.
So
I'm holding
he
on.
knows that music was my heart because he asked me, what is your passion? Music. At that point, I was making so much money that I like I'll never forget. I went to fucking, because then if anyone lived in Arizona, there's really not much to fucking do.
Mm. Yeah.
I went to Guitar Center because it was always like one of my dreams to do, and I brought 3 full drum kits and put them all together. Like that's
the mega set.
It was
there
the mega set, bro.
I love it. I love it.
It was the
like who does that?
The fucking opulence.
Who fucking does that?
It was so much fun.
Just 3.
Me thinking back at it, was.
Can you imagine just 3 kick drums alone?
No, it was full fucking
and then
like
full
sets.
kit. Like, what are you doing?
Dude, I flew my best friend to fucking Arizona. Like he was like it was fucking crazy. Matter of fact, I got to talk about the weirdest part of that whole shit. So when I first get there, he takes
there's
me
a
to
weirder
house.
part.
It gets weirder. He takes my phone and he's like, before we can go on this path, he drove me to Sedona, and he's like, you have to climb this mountain. I guess there's fucking like not wormholes, but like spiritual vortexes in Sedona. If you guys ever hear about it, it's like a lot of concentrated energy.
Really?
In Sedona. You could Google it. And he took my phone and he said, get to the top of this. He gave me certain things that he wanted me to chant, recite, but it was all towards killing my ego. It was all towards killing my ego. So at that point, I could have told him, you know, fuck off. I'm going back.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm like, you know what I mean?
Explorer.
I'm an explorer at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If this is where I'm at now in Arizona.
Bro, if this shit happened,
right?
And
it
this
gets
shit
here,
happening is like enough to be like
what you would walk up that fucking mountain, right?
Bro,
yeah, dude. Just for the experience,
you damn right.
For even to be there, you already checked off like I'm all in. Like 3 months ago, you're like I'm already in. So whatever this means, I'm
all in.
Yeah.
Yes, I was all in. So I ended up doing that, and I came back, and I was in the mornings. He'd wake me up 5:30, and he brought calligraphy pens. And he would just have like literally. This has nothing with me designing no city. Literally wake me up, and for hours I would just with a calligraphy pen.
Were you just like, I want to talk to you about your ego. Like, shout out to him making you like roll up the Sedona mountains for the ego and the ego shedding.
Right.
But you had to have had zero damn ego to begin with to pursue this fucking straight fear and loathing in Arizona fucking path of yours.
Right. No, for sure. But he just told me that he felt like my ego would be my biggest, my ultimate death. So
what made like this is literally a fucking movie. And shout out to like the narrative of
shout out to God for making
for real. Shit. Shout out to everything in the universe literally coming together as it does.
Right.
Right. And like, bro, like let's just put it this way. Your average human being whose possibilities are within the constraint and the confines of what correctness is, would not have taken this trip.
I know. It's sad.
They probably wouldn't even have been in the position to have had that premonition of impending death and gotten off on this said exit and had it to the point where this happened, and then been able to like been in a position to even draw somebody, and like all of this wouldn't happen. It's like on some like energy of the universe thing.
But you know what's so fucked up is I know that it can for every single person.
For
That's
sure.
crazy,
But like see this, and this is why I say like you probably damn well didn't have an ego at this point.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just saying from the standpoint of how free you were to let the flows and the throes of life dictate.
Right.
At this certain time, right? You weren't sitting there with 2 kids and a chickie and 50 trillion thousand pounds of responsibility on your shoulders.
Right.
It was much more of like, where is my place? I know I'm going to get there, but what's it starting to look like?
Right.
Right.
I mean, I was still young, you know, and
Yeah.
we all naturally have an ego, and at that time it was still about me, you know, it was still about me. So I was doing the calligraphy. I was doing like, and it's crazy because this motherfucker,
you guys, like, what am I doing exactly?
we can't talk about some of it, but the things that I can say is this: like, he was a multi-millionaire.
Got it.
He had reverse dementia, not reverse dementia, reverse. The word had come to me, but he was like literally insane. This motherfucker was like the craziest person I've ever met in my life. Really, this motherfucker would take us to dinner, have plates, and just break them. If he was out there. He wanted, like, I've never seen anyone want what they want and just take it. Like, he would just walk through shit with no shoes on, go to, you know, like, just, he didn't give a fuck, man. So tight, you know? But we would wake up, and for 3 hours, like, he would just put, like, you know those flip over paper? Like,
Yeah.
And he would just say, draw. Just do whatever you want. I'll be designing candles and backpacks. Because he knew that that's what I just needed to get it out, you know?
Yeah.
So eventually, and looking back, I could say this. So eventually, when you're a young black kid from the hood who never really touched that type of money, what do? You fuck it off.
Yeah. You spend the fuck out of
Especially in Arizona.
That's literally rags
Those
to
three
riches.
drum
That's
sets, man.
rags to riches, all caps.
Dude, I literally brought a Hermes Birkin for my girl. I was going to Best Buy, and because like he gave me a cart where it had literally no limit. He wanted me to outfit his house, but I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. So I kind of did the wrong thing, but he was patient and he fucking loved me. The point is he was like, I don't want you to do music. You could do anything you want. We can continue to go all around the world. But you can't do music.
Why?
He felt like I don't even like talking about that because I don't want to create like a premonition, but he just felt like, I don't know, he just didn't want me to do it.
Yeah.
Would it take
So
you
I
away?
had a point where I had to make a decision. Either say fuck all this money, fuck all this shit, fuck this freedom. I'm about to go do music. Now this is a whole nother step that I don't think a lot of people would have took. And that's not certain because I don't have a music career at this point. Or I could stay in Arizona and continue to fucking travel the world, like PJs and all this shit.
The Bohemian Rhapsody, like literally.
So I called St. John and I'm like, yo, Saint, remember I was talking about the music shit. If I come back to LA, will you just record me? Just like give me some A&R, just would it help me out? And then I told him the situation, and he drove from LA to Arizona, got a U-Haul truck because I brought so much shit. I brought
those 3 drum sets, bro.
I couldn't even bring all the 3 drum sets. Like I brought 1 drum set. I couldn't bring the 3 drum sets.
You had to let the other 2.
It's still in my crib. I have MPC. I have so much shit that I brought that I don't even know how to fucking use.
I love it.
But you know the first thing I brought though, besides all this, were books, bro.
Love.
I probably spent like 5 racks on books. Louis Vuitton, all these books, you know, like, and I have all of those, and I'm so like thankful for those books.
Yeah.
But He drove to Arizona, packed all my shit, went back. The next day we had a studio session. And I'll never forget this. I was with my mom in my kitchen area. We had like a vinyl player, and I was like so hyped. Like I wanted to find a sample. Like I wanted to find something because Kanye was like my favorite. It's like I want to find a sample. So I took the Brazilian Girls and I put the vinyl in, and it came on, pussy, 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 marijuana. And my mom was like, "That's a hit." I was like, my mom said that shit. So I took the pussy marijuana sample. We made that song. He put it on Break the Crates. And you guys know what Break the Crates is? Break the Crates is like a website where a lot of, like, millions of DJs download their music. And they have like a whole system and whatever. It went number 1 on Break the Crates in a week. Over Bruno at that time. Over number 1. Pussy Marijuana. Forced us to shoot a video. Forced us to shoot a video. I shot the video at the Standard. No money. Not $200 to make the whole video. End up going viral, like 3-4 million views on world, like all this shit. And that's when all the labels and all that fucking shit started happening.
That's crazy.
How long ago was that?
Like 6 years ago.
And it's crazy at that junction. It was like, David, I don't want you doing music, right? Yeah. Live this life. What was it in you that was like, you know what? Like, I gotta do music. Because you could have damn well been creating art.
Right.
And kind of just like justify doing fashion. Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, no music. Like, I need some money to make a line.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the other. What was it about music?
Man. Well, first off, before it was even about music, it was about music makes me feel fulfilled, right? Because like art is amazing. I can paint and you can get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can make some clothing and you could love it. You could want to wear it. But with rap, I can tell you how I feel. I can show you how I feel. I can inspire you. I can enlighten you. I can do all these things.
And it's just in here.
And it's just here, right? So it had gotten to a point where when you buying Louis Vuitton bags and it's just whatever, you know what I mean? When, okay, I'm going to go to Guitar Center and drop 20 something racks on, you know what I mean? It really is empty.
Yeah.
Money really gets empty at a point, right?
Yeah.
For real.
And like, it's good you got to kind of experience that on that level.
So early on, too. Though.
So early on, because, and that's why I look at it as a blessing, because at first I was like,
because usually the aspiration is for that.
Right.
And when you reach that, you're just like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, like
where the homies at though?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I woke up with 30 grand in my bank account, and I literally have an unlimited credit card. I just brought 3 full drum sets just because I could.
Oh man!
But he was playing at the Madison Square Garden like on his fucking damn own with 3 drum sets.
Shut the fuck up. That would be so darling.
Because it's crazy, because literally that's what people strive for. Like that fantasy of it, that freedom that comes with it. And since you got to experience that and coming out of it with that empty feeling and not being fulfilled by any of it, you know, even doing art full time, getting paid to like do something you love to do.
Right. It was a very fun time. It was a fun time. I put all this. It's crazy we're even talking about this because I don't even speak about this shit. Like I just kind of like I put everything. I'm like so in like what am I about to do tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, Art Basel's next week. I'm doing Art Basel. Then I'm supposed to be going to Milan. Okay, I'm going to Milan. So I'm like on to the next. But that was.
But you know what's crazy is that all of this really formulated what all of this what this moment and tomorrow is. You know what I'm saying? Like. Had you not gone through these experiences, and rarely are they spoken. What I truly love, just sidebar, is that the environment allows it to be comfortable for it to be spoken about.
Right. 100%.
You feel me?
Yeah, it's
because it takes a level
well, you
of
guys
comfort,
are the environment.
Love.
Oh, thank you.
For real.
Man.
And it's crazy because like we just like own that now as opposed to know that now. You know what I'm saying? It's just been told and it's like, look, like that is our ethos. You know what I'm saying? And like it's necessary. There's so much going on. So many people are doing so much cool shit. But if we just focus on what's being done, we'll never be able to appreciate it for what it's worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At that time, having those moments in your life already where it's like, holy shit, there's like a little bit of a firestorm over my creative, right? And having that moment where you know, you were a part of a group that, you know, coming from a dude that was like in the management capacity of just like wanted your style advice and just like your aesthetic advice, and you always wanting to rap, and then getting thrown into this fucking incredible Hunter S. Thompson-esque fucking scenario, right? And coming back for music. And from that, was it damn near immediately?
Yeah.
Okay, so from that, damn near or fucking immediately, right, this explosion happens.
Yeah.
What did that whirlwind look and feel like? Because it was a want.
Right.
And now that want was becoming like actualized in a fucking infinite degree almost, right?
I can tell you this, it didn't even feel like it. Like when you're in it, or at least that is for someone who continuously wants more. You know? Because like the first PJ ride was tight. Then the second one was cool. And then by the third one, I was like, this is all right. Man, what the fuck? Bring that. I actually have a video on an old ass laptop of me bumping Led Zeppelin. I don't know how to drive. I took this motherfucker's car. I'm driving into the PJ fucking the private airport and shit. Camera out, recording this shit, bumping Led Zeppelin. I almost like not run into the wing, but like everyone's coming like, yo, come here. I'm like scared. I'm like having so much fun. And he's like shirt off, smoking cigar. Like, yeah, David. Like it was like crazy. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like finding the me who I was in like preschool or middle school, but like a multi fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much fun. Man.
I mean, look, that experience that you had though with music never happens, right? It just that story never pans out like that. Do you think it was like it happened because of the culmination of all these experiences got you to that moment, or did you feel because you had never even released anything is like with music or anything? It's like just the first shot,
Yeah.
And most people's like first whew, like is terrible, you know.
But you can't go wrong. Pussy, marijuana. And then the verses, like I was just like rapping about just like wanting to fuck all of these like celebrity chicks. Like it was just like witty, you know?
Were you ready for what it was going to do for you in music at that point? Just the way it took off? Were you kind of ready to like, oh shit?
In reality, it did nothing in the sense that it made me hot. It made me cool. It made my city, whatever. They played it on the radio. People in, you know, different places who didn't know about me. Like North Carolina was the #1 spent place it was at. You know, it had a bunch of fucking A&Rs and people who own labels tickle my nuts. But in reality, it's just one experience in a cataclysm of other experiences that got me to where I'm at right now. But in the really, it was just like, it just lit a fire. That's it. And I'm so glad and I'm so happy that I didn't really blow at that time. Like I'm glad it didn't, because that was like, oh my God, because the name of the record was Pussy Marijuana. I wasn't as poetic. I was nothing near to what I am right now. Right, if it would have blew up by then,
it would have been too much of like a staple.
I would probably be like, I'd probably be Trinidad James now. No shade to Trinidad James.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
I hear you. Like
fresh on
would
the
have been
scene,
too
pops off. Like let's run this.
And you would have been too defined by that, which is not even actually who you are. It was just like one thing.
Exactly.
That literally would have been as if that freestyle that you wrote when you got roasted on was like
cataclysmic, and millions of people. But
Karuchi and them were like, "Oh hey, David, what's good?"
Yeah,
no, I get that.
But at that time, I didn't think that. I was like, "Fuck, oh my God!" But now, looking back at it, so I put in my 10,000 hours with this rap shit. Like since then to now, like I've just really learned to master my language and my perspective. So that's why I'm really happy.
What was navigating your everyday life like along that creative growth?
Just the urge to want to be better. How do I get better? I had a team. I had St. John. I had Kingpin. Kingpin was kind of like the A&R in the situation, but more than an A&R, he more or less just told me when I sucked. He told me when I sucked, and at that point, my whatever ego I had left didn't want to listen. I was just like, but this is this. But then I just realized, like, okay, I suck. Not saying I suck because I didn't suck, but
yeah,
I'm not my potentiality.
Yes.
And thank God I've had people that want to push me to that level. So then I just really just dug in. I just started studying and really just making it. But all the while, I'm still doing fashion. I'm still doing art. But like music has just always been that. I haven't been able to put out a lot of music for reasons why I won't say. But I am at a point in my career now where I'm about to drop. So I'm about to drop too much shit. I'm talking about I got like 15 videos in the can, short films in the cans, maybe 5-6 EPs in the can. Like I have projects and I have ways to distribute it, and I have like everything is just lining the fuck up. So now it's just really like it's game time for me.
What was that journey like for you in terms of blossoming? And I love how it gets to these moments. Shout out to the sirens. They come at these moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They always do.
They truly do.
Do they really?
Always.
They really do. Like your sevens is our sirens.
Always. Always.
That's brilliant. I love that.
No, but for real, like, because I feel like you're on a perpetual blossom, right? And, you know, once the music that you'd always wanted to kind of use as your vessel,
right,
became something that was actually tangible so quick, right? But naturally, you need to be able to put in the work.
Can I live this at all? By any chance?
Hell yeah, whatever you want to do.
It's your world.
I feel like this moment is very pivotal from the standpoint of like there's a lot going on in just like the shaping, in your understanding and kind of your becoming of your, I guess, complete embodiment of self here, right?
Right.
What was that journey like within? You're a completely gifted creator. You're dabbling in fashion, you're dabbling in art, you're dabbling also now in music. Like along this way, fashion and art have become kind of like you've been putting in your hours, right? You may not have been at 10,000 yet, right? Or you may have, right? But music is starting to come into play. You're the type of being that just has so many avenues to fire off creatively. And I feel like for somebody like that, and is fortunate enough to not just run with the steam, if you will, right? The song popped off. You could have just like maximized every single like bit of exposure and figured out the deal and just did that. But it was more of a cultivating period. I feel like this whole time from that moment until now has been a cultivation of craft and being. Like, take us through just your growth in not only the realms of your being, but just in also the realms of how that being of yours looked upon your craft. Like, what is it? What was it becoming for you?
What do you mean? What was it becoming?
Like, what's the reason that you weren't pursuing the release? Let's just release all this music. Let's just do all these things. Like, what was that approach for you?
Well, see, that was one of the things I said I can't really talk, because there was just certain things that were holding that back contractually. Just weird shit. But all I can say is that there are no mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? You're never late.
Yeah.
Everything that doesn't happen happens for a reason, right? All these things, these staple things that we say, because at that time, I was really mad about it. But like I said, I've reached an evolution where I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Take us through that evolution then, because I feel like
the evolution is really the ultimate evolution is me realizing that it's not about me anymore. That music comes with more of a responsibility than breathing for me. Because you are literally influencing someone. Someone can hear something you say and for the rest of their life believe it.
Absolutely.
Was there a moment for you that switched like that? Was there like any pivotal moment where you're like, wait a minute?
It's just a multitude of just teachers, things happening and me realizing that I'm just a part of this equation.
Yeah.
And I fight with it every day, because like talking about how I grew up, like it used to always be about me, because it was all I had.
Yeah.
I was the only person I had in my imagination, you know. When I didn't have friends, I had to have myself. So it was I built this barrier, this box, and I put myself in it, and I allowed that to be my fuel. Kanye mentioned it one time in a record. My arrogance was my something. I don't know, but like I understood him in that sense of when the world doesn't hand you it on a silver plate and people shun you for whatever reason, you kind of have to develop this intuitive, instinctual bravado that allows you to succeed.
How'd you push through the trying times? Because for a creator to like have situations in their lives where they can't fully express, right? It's a tug of war, right? What did that do to you mentally? And I'm talking about from the standpoint of like the angst and the anguish, as well as the affirmation. Like, cause like you've reached a point now where it's like, I can't wait for a motherfucker to realize what's about to hit them. Right. But in that process of, well, I'm going through this and I know I got to, what is that like for a creative mind like yours? And how did you overcome I don't know how to say stagnation. How did you overcome just being?
I don't look at it as like an overcoming thing, because I didn't even look at it as a barrier in the first place. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I always looked at it as like, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Okay.
Like I said to you earlier, but we weren't on camera. Like a certain blog shot down a premiere of something I was trying to push.
Yeah.
And I told my management like, yay. Yeah. Great. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because they had to turn it down in order for them to pick it up. And if they don't pick it up, then they'll pick it. And if no one picks it up, then that means it was so great that it had to come out in some organic way that isn't even propelled by a fucking blog.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like that's really what it is. It's like, as an artist, as a creator, as a human, as a being, you have to realize that all of these things are just different pathways through the maze to your impending success. Because you really aren't set up to fail. You aren't set up to, like, your movie was intended for you to become the greatest you.
I feel that.
Right?
Absolutely.
God ain't, the universe is not fucked up. He didn't put you through this so you'd be like, damn, I didn't get the girl in the end. I didn't get the only thing that can stop you from that is your own fear, you in your own way.
Absolutely.
Right? So I just looked at it as another door closed. Like I picture myself, I'm like in this maze and the cheese is in the middle and the cheese is everything that I want. And I know that since my cheese is so big and the effect that I'm going to have on this planet is so big, it's going to be 1,000 times harder for me to get to where I need to be.
And you accept that.
And I accept it.
Facts.
Door closed. Okay, I'm crawling up the wall.
Yeah.
Ceiling closed. I'm smashing the wall, going through the and that's just what life is.
It's a constant. How the fuck am I gonna get to?
How the fuck am I gonna do it? And I'm happy. It makes life interesting.
I fucking love that. What are you most excited about right now? In your being and your own actualization of self, right? And also your craft and your growth in your creation, right? Because, and I say this because you've come such a long way, but your being is very unique and special, right? But it's taken all of this time to actualize that, right? And also have the passion and the pursuit of its purpose, if you will, right? And then also, and that's self speaking, but then also from in the realms of craft and the expanse of it all. Like I truly see you like bringing in your, you know, creative expression with your craft and also your love of the culture and what things could be and in terms of expression and pushing those boundaries. Like I truly look at your entity and your brand right now and it's fearless. Right.
Thank you.
what are you excited about in getting to this point? What does it look like for you, like in this moment?
Honestly,
yeah,
I am so excited to wake up tomorrow. At this point,
facts.
I'm just happy to breathe.
Yeah,
Man. But that's a powerful thing, though.
I'm happy to breathe, man. I'm so like, I have no more expectations. I have no more expectations. You know why? Because I know that what I want is maybe not what he wants. So I just open myself up to being a vessel, right?
for real.
And just say, move me, man. Use my voice to inspire, to spark that change. And since I've been doing that, shit has been lit.
I love it.
Miami next week. Europe next after that. New York, come back, LA, sold out show. This, like, nigga, it's moving, you know? And it's taken a long time.
Yeah.
But diamonds take a long time. A coal doesn't know it's a diamond.
No.
You're damn right.
You know? And someone sent me a video of Jay-Z talking. He was like in like some old ass Jay-Z interview. And he was talking about how to label how everyone passed on him. And he was like in the thick of it though. It wasn't like retrospective Jay-Z. It was young Jay-Z. He's like, yeah, man, like they shut me down. They didn't want to fuck with me. So we had to build Rockefeller and we had to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, he was like 27, 20. I don't know how old he was, but it takes seasoning to be great. I truly believe that. It takes true seasoning.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's all reasonable doubt, right?
right.
Literally.
Yeah.
And my brother, you're a diamond.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
For real.
Thank you. Hell yeah.
And keep fucking
Powerful,
shining.
man.
In the most humble way, I accept that. And I accept it in my spirit because I feel like I've worked hard for it. And I've been through a lot and I've struggled a lot. So like I received that. It's just like I'm so discontent with like I'm appreciative.
Yeah.
But I want it so bad and I'm so focused on it that it's all I do. I'm not sleeping. I'm like at nighttime I'm working on music. In the daytime I'm working on the art. Midday fashion, music, fashion, art. And I'm just trying to balance all of these worlds because they're now they're growing. Like the art is taking its own world. The fashion is taking it, and it's like all going on simultaneously. Yeah. And I'm only one nigga, but music is like it's everything to me. So I'm like trying to hold on to putting 100,000 hours into music while still maintaining my merch. This new line that I'm doing, the lines I'm designing for, the you know what I mean? Like all these visuals, because like I'm shooting these visuals. So it's like all this shit, you know?
Essentially utilizing the same 24 hours we all have every single fucking day.
Kinda, yeah.
And with all that, do you have a sense of fulfillment right now? Because you're on the cusp of putting that all out. So it's not even there.
Because if I was fulfilled, I would have a good night's sleep. And if I had a good night's sleep, that means I'd wake up late tomorrow. And if I woke up late, then I probably, you know what I mean? Like,
off top.
Slept at my studio last night. I'm still, don't get it twisted. Like we talked about like I will sleep on a couch. I don't give a fuck.
Off top.
If it me, I'll tell you something funny that I used to do, like a little secret when I was younger. I don't even remember the age, but that's the least important part of it. I used to put books underneath my sheets, and I would sleep on books because I knew it would make me uncomfortable. And I knew that I would wake up every hour or two due to the uncomfort, and I would want to get back to working. Like I would play little mind games on myself. I'd purposefully make me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? That's probably why my back is all fucked up right now.
I feel you need to get that twerked out one time.
Just remove the books.
I love that though. It's constant pursuit.
Yeah, man.
If you could define what you're pursuing, what would that be?
Like we said, I feel the world is in a very pivotal place. And I just want to be the biggest conduit to positive change. And what I'm really trying to say is I want to be able to express myself, my art, my music on the highest level globally. I want to build those schools we talked about.
Yeah. I
want to take the clothing that I am making and find a way to manufacture that, the pennies on the dollar, and give that shit away. I want to, I eventually want to end homelessness or be the conduit to that. My best friends are homeless to this day. To this day. I became friends with the dudes sleeping underneath the fucking freeways, and they were my best friends. They used to cheer me on in the morning. They'd see me hopping on that bus to go to Hollywood.
Wow.
My friend Vernon, my friend Ralph. Fuck, these just sound like names, but these motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
Man, I'll never forget. I found a vacant apartment in my apartment complex, and I snuck Ralph in that motherfucker. He was sleeping there for like a couple months, actually.
Wow.
And me and my girlfriend would bring him dinner at night and shit, and he was like, but like, people shouldn't have to live like that.
Yeah.
Not when you got tech CEOs making $50 billion and shit.
For sure.
So I want to do that. Like I have, what I mean? There's different levels to shit. So I just want to get to a position where I could do that.
For sure.
So.
And I can't wait for the trees and the seeds in which you've planted to give the world shade, my brother.
I want to ask.
Hopefully I'm here to sit under it.
For real.
But if I'm not, then I'll probably be a poster in somebody's house looking at the next kid talking this shit. You know what I mean?
Sparking that next mind. What are the conversations like now with your mom? From the woman who was in the principal's office and being that kid getting kicked out of school to the visions and the things you've accomplished and the road that you've been on and everything that you're pursuing now. What are those conversations like with her?
She's just worried. She's just worried. Where are you at? What are you doing? Have you got your sleep? Did you eat? You haven't ate yet. You sound tired.
Yeah.
She's a mom.
Get some sleep.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with none of these fast ass girls out here. They just want your money. Just like little stupid shit, But I love her. And she hits me all the time. And, she'll probably hit me after this. And I try my best to, I'm not always good with it, but I try my best to cater to her, to that, because at the end of the day, I'm all she has. And I would, and the first thing I'm going to do is, and I'm working towards it, but I definitely want to get her that dream crib. You know what I mean? Definitely want to fly her to Rome.
Yeah.
And give, and give her the opportunity to see all the things that she sacrificed. You know what I mean? That's just the first thing. And to be honest with you, once I do that, then I feel like that would be my first moment of contentment. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm stopping, but it'll be like,
first breath.
So, and honestly, I'm getting there. Like, it's looking like the top of the year, like maybe by next summer, like I'm going to put her in something stupid, very nice.
Incredible.
So.
And I can't wait to the moment that you do. And
I'll
keep
send you a
touching
picture,
the world,
man.
my brother.
Come over.
For real.
Yeah, man.
Off top. Dinner with mama is a necessity.
In her new crib.
Absolutely.
And the way to materialize that and manifest that, right, is for me to go find the place, right?
Yeah.
Where is this place at? I got to go meet with the people, the real estate motherfuckers. I got to feel that key. I got to see it.
Yeah.
And then the rest is going to happen. It's hers.
You set that intention, it's done.
Right?
For real.
And we're all bringing steaks over and cooking them.
Off top.
See, and this is just materializing it even fucking.
You better believe that.
Yeah.
I'm on beast chef mode.
She needs heated marble floors.
Yeah.
Done.
You may see me sleeping on a marble floor like, damn.
100%. The door needs to be imported Italian marble.
Love.
You had to fly that motherfucker in.
Love.
Yeah.
And it's all for mama.
And it's all for mama, but I also told my mom this. When I get her a crib, like if it's going to be like really big, I want to move in. Like,
damn right.
Yeah, like.
And she'd probably want you to move in.
Oh, no. Not I want to move in. I want to move in people who need people. Like, I want, like, my first goal is, like, I want to get a crib big enough so I can move, like 20 people in.
Love.
Create an ecosystem like that. and then just keep buying houses, and then before you know it, get with some developers. And like I had this like pod idea, like this portable pod idea where like you essentially have a home and like it's I don't know, it's but I just have ideas, man.
I love it. Yeah. And those ideas are just moments away from fruition in the scheme of things.
Yeah, because what is time?
Yeah.
This is in the blink of an eye in the real spectrum of time. We've already done this a million times.
This has been fucking incredible.
Do you guys enjoy it?
I love this. Did you enjoy it?
Man. Of course, man. It's therapy.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about some of these
beautiful, man,
situations in a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all enjoyed it too. Episode 57. David. The Tale of the Sevens.
Sebastian.
You know what I'm saying? David Sabastian, and we out.
Anti.